Sliwa, friend of the show, San Diegan Padres fan. He will join us coming up at 5 p.m. We'll hear from Mike Schild when this game goes final as well. Today for me, and we can react to yesterday, of course, as well, but with this game underway. Today for me, as you said in the update, is the classic swing game. It's like there's so much hinging on the balance of this one. If you win this game, you feel great. 3 out of 4 against the Giants. Dodgers coming to town. Again, first place would be on the line, and most should be a game out. You lose this game, and it feels like a wasted opportunity. We've spent 3 days on this. It felt like a series you needed to win. They may. But they trail 2-0 right now in the third inning. You mentioned the fact that the Dodgers are winning. So to me, it's a very swingy feel to this game heading into this weekend against the LA Dodgers, and we'll see how it turns out over the next 6 or 7 innings.
And last night, they actually showed something that they haven't shown actually really all year long. That was power. And that's what you were wanting yesterday. You were like, can you guys, I don't know, give me some style points? Now, again, as long as you get the win, doesn't really matter at this time of the year because you're in the stretch run. And the only thing that people care about is wins and losses. Doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter if you win 1-0 or if you win 10-1. Now, it's better if you win 10-1 because you're going to get more confidence, watching this team that they're going to, go farther in a postseason run because their offense is really good and their pitching is really good. But last night it felt like they put it all together. 4 home runs, first time all year long they've done it at Petco Park. First time since May 10th that they've hit 4 home runs in a game. That was way back when they were playing the Rockies in Colorado. No surprise there. But it was the guys that you want to see hit for power. Manny Machado, Gavin Sheets had 2 home runs. New guy Ryan O'Hearn hits a home run, right? He's going to be in the lineup every day pretty much now. Mike Schild would be foolish to keep him out of this lineup. And it felt like last night, wow, that was fun to watch. You got a 3-run homer. You got multiple other homers from other players. Scored 8 runs, pitched great. That was awesome. And then you get to today's game so far, and you're like, are they really just going to do this?
It's too early to know. But the thing is, it's true because for all that last night provided, which was a great runaway, don't have to use your high leverage reliever arms. It's only as good as the next day. That's the thing about the sport. It's like the 8-1 win is only really remembered in the series if you win today, right? Are you going to remember the 8-1 win if you split the series? You're going to say it's a wasted opportunity. The way they lost the opener, where they had opportunities with runners in scoring position, there was the play obviously in left, where the Bogarts home run was overturned. And then today, and we'll get into it, there's so much time. We have 4 hours. We can go anywhere. But today, you have rare defensive misplays. Last night, we see one of the catches of all time from Fernando Tatis Jr.
One of the better catches you'll ever see.
And then today, misplay from Tatis with Laureano, where neither of them really call for it. And Tatis goes for it the last moment. He drops a ball. Then there's a ball that drops in front of him. It gets by him. Then Jake Cronenworth uncharacteristically commits an error. It's 2-0 in the third inning. I mean, they could win this game 10-2. They could lose this game 10-2. Last night was great. But to me, it's like all hinging on today, because if you come back and win today and you've taken 3 out of 4, then everything's going perfectly into this Dodger series. And it's amazing how things can turn between one series to the next. But if you lose today, I mean, it feels like you've put yourself in a position where you've done it yourself, because you had the Giants at home and you could have taken 3 out of 4 or arguably even more, and you could have better positioned yourself for the Dodger series. So it's kind of tough to talk about because we don't really know how this is going to play out over the next 6 innings, because if they win, great. If they lose, wasted opportunities.
Yeah, if you go to the series this weekend, 1 game behind the Dodgers, because the Dodgers are going to beat the Rockies. They're up 8-2 unless, Coors Field decides to show up.
Always possible. What inning is it?
Very possible. Let's check here.
6th inning.
6th inning, yeah. 6th inning, they're up 8-2.
8-3.
8-3 now.
Rockies batting with runners on.
Here come the Rockies.
I mean, with Coors Field, that's the one thing. It could change. But yeah, assuming the Dodgers win.
Assuming the Dodgers win, then the best you could do here is go into the series this weekend trailing them by a game.
Which means you would have picked up a game since you last saw them.
Correct, which what happened, I think, last night.
Yeah, with the win and the Dodger loss with Ohtani on the mound.
Yeah, it happened last night. Ohtani sucked, and they lost.
And it's the second loss in the series, but the Padres have already lost 1 game in this series.
Right. So, it's not the end of the world if you go into the series 2 back, but it's all about opportunities that you have to take advantage of, and keeping pace. That's a big thing now for the remainder of the season. Every day with the Dodgers, it's going to be about keeping pace with them or hopefully passing them soon and then never looking back. They had an opportunity last week to, kind of put their stamp on things. It wasn't going to be the end all be all to winning a division. But if you went to Dodger Stadium, you took 2 or 3, the Padres will still be in the division lead right now.
Correct.
So you went from an opportunity to take a 2 or 3 in LA and then play the Giants and then face the Dodgers again at home, still with a division lead, and then really put your stamp on things this weekend. Now it's flipped that the Dodgers have that opportunity. If you do not come back in today's game, it's only 2-0. Giants bullpen sucks. So there's a good opportunity and good possibility that the Padres could absolutely come back and win this game. But even if they do win this game and the Dodgers win their game, they're still trailing by a game in the division. And I still feel like you'd have to have a really good series this weekend. 2 out of 3 feels like, got to do it.
Yeah, I think that's well said because, okay, let's say these scores hold, like you said in your update. I mean, it's another day off the calendar. You've lost a game and you don't have the tiebreaker. Like just statistically speaking, the Dodgers 2 games up. You say, well, there's still over a month, John. There's 30-something games to be played. Is 2 games really that much? Well, yeah, because you don't have the tiebreaker. So it's actually 3 games. And LA is capable of playing decent baseball, let's say, over the final month of the season. They'd have to prove it. But their schedule
is almost exactly like the Padres, which is a cakewalk.
Exactly. So I do think a 1-game swing is significant. Now, with that being said, they're coming here. And if you took 2 out of 3, even if you were 2 back, you'd pull to within 1. If you're able to stay 1 back right now and take 2 out of 3, I mean, it's the magnified time of the year. And you can't overstate the importance of what is on the line for these teams. Mm-hmm. We can pretend like, oh, well, they're going to make the playoffs either way. They're well positioned. Do they really need to beat the Dodgers in this division? It means a lot. And I've been the one to tell you before over the years, if you can't win the division, you can't win the division. You can still win by going other paths. But when you're staring at it and when it's like a gift potentially being presented to you, it feels like you need to capitalize on it. So it's going to be a fascinating weekend. Either way, first place technically is on the line because you're either 2 back or 1 back. So technically first place is on the line this weekend, no matter what happens. But I like the idea of getting there with all the momentum in the world. 3 straight wins, 1 game back at worst, and see where the chips fall this weekend against the Dodgers.
Like, think about this. The Padres are closer to a division lead than they are to get to the 4 seed.
How many games back are they of the Cubs?
They are 2 back right now. And they're 1 back of the Dodgers. And if the scores hold today.
Got you. If the scores hold, then they'd be 2 back of the Dodgers. But you're saying with the tiebreaker, they're like 3 back.
Now, the Cubs are losing to the Brewers right now 4-1. Okay. So it would come down to a game and a half as this game is going on. All right. But if the score holds, then it's still 2.
Right.
That's so right. You'd be 2 back of the Cubs. And actually, yeah. And if you win today and the Dodgers win today, then you're 1 back of the Dodgers. So that's what I'm talking about. You'd be closer to the division than you would be to the 4 seed.
Which sounds great to me because the division guarantees at least the 3 seed.
And it guarantees you either,
a bye or a home playoff series.
A bye or home playoff series, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, everything is right there, but it needs to be taken.
And that's what the goal is for the rest of the season. First, it's division. Next is the 4 seed.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Like they got to get one or the other. They have to win the division or they have to get the 4 seed. I'm not saying that it's the end all be all.
It's important,
but it's very important because they play really good at home.
Not just important. I feel like it's disappointing otherwise. I think if we fast forward 1 month and someone told me the Padres were the 5 seed in the National League postseason, I'd be like, oh, really? With those games against the Rockies and the games against the White Sox and the games against the Orioles, they could only secure the number 5 seed. After the trade deadline, when they had at one point a 14-3 stretch, right now I think they're in the midst of a 16-7 overall stretch. I would think that with this body of work, with this roster, with this play, they could earn themselves a seed higher than 5. But they truly do have to earn it. They'll either have to outplay the Cubs, can't control what the Cubs do. So you got to outplay the Cubs, and you kind of have to outplay the Dodgers, whether it's on field in the 3-game series or down the stretch, just over those 30-something games.
Now, if the scores do hold today, you'd be 2 back of both the Cubs and the Dodgers.
If the scores held today,
because the Cubs are losing right now in the 9th inning.
Got you.
To
so
the Brewers.
2 back of both. That's exactly
2 back of both.
Right. And we don't know the tiebreaker with the Cubs. Have we determined that?
We have not. I have no idea what the tiebreaker would be.
Okay. I know we've had this conversation.
We can ask maybe Kevin tomorrow, but he might not even know. I mean, we're still 30 days out. I'm sure that once we get closer to the end of the season, we'll talk more about tiebreakers and how those are all situated because they have to do with intra-division if you tied the season series.
So it's not even determined, probably.
Right.
Because there's other games still to be played.
Yep.
I agree with your general point from a handful of minutes ago, which is like the indicators of Gavin Sheets and Ryan O'Hearn and even Manny Machado yesterday and getting the good starting pitching. It was like the Mike Schilt formula, no pun intended here, on steroids. And the reason I say that is because they showed the power that they haven't shown. They're still 29th in home runs in baseball, believe it or not. With the 4 home runs yesterday, they're firmly 29th in baseball. They've hit 110. But then again, they got power on their bench. Since the deadline, they've been sitting Gavin Sheets and Ryan O'Hearn often against left-handed pitching. And these are the guys that are like top 3 on the team in home runs hit this year. So they get out there, maybe you show more power. It's only one game, but I think it's encouraging. The 4 home runs in one game is nothing but encouraging moving forward, hopefully.
Hopefully, but it just shows you that when you don't play Ryan O'Hearn and Gavin Sheets, there's a lot of power that you're missing inside in that lineup.
100%. You're not hitting 4 home runs with that.
No. And you need to have those guys in the lineup more often.
Yep.
And by more often, I mean damn near every day.
Yeah, probably.
Like when you get to the postseason, it's got to be your best players. You can't have the bottom of your lineup being Jose Iglesias and, Jake Cronenworth and Freddie Fermin. You're going to need to have Gavin Sheets and Ryan O'Hearn in that lineup to give you pop up and down. And I know the talking point from Schilt would be, well, great power off our bench. Okay.
But wouldn't you rather have 4 plate appearances with the power than 1?
This is not old school National League baseball where you need to have that like bat off your bench to pinch hit, to double switch, and all those things going on. It's very easy to manage in today's baseball as far as the lineup goes because you're not making those double switch moves.
That's right.
And if you are pinch hitting, everybody can see it. You kind of know when you're going to pinch hit for somebody. And then when you pinch hit for, say, Jose Iglesias, you got to make sure that you have everything lined up. So if he's playing in the field, well, then you got to move somebody here, you got to move somebody there. It's much easier to just have those 2 in the lineup every single day because I don't want 2 guys that have damn near 20 home runs sitting on my bench and then have a guy with a 590 OPS in the lineup and then another guy in Luis Ariz who can't hit the ball anywhere close to out of the ballpark. Like I think going forward, and we can talk about it more, but going forward, those 2 guys, Sheets and O'Hearn, they need to be in the lineup damn near every day. Jose Iglesias, you can give a guy a day off in the field here and there. Luis Ariz, buddy, get ready to learn platoon.
Yeah, that's the question, and we'll discuss it on the other side. Is there one optimal lineup, or is it still contingent for Mike Schilt on whether it's a left-handed or right-handed starter? Plus, updates again from Petco Park where the Giants and Padres are wrapping up their 4-game series. Alan Sleewell will join us at 5 p.m. We'll hear from Mike Schilt when this game goes final as well. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Alan Sleewell will join us coming up at 5 p.m. We're reacting to last night, reacting to Padres Giants right now. Padres on the board and threatening for more, trailing 2-1 in the bottom of the fourth inning, facing Justin Verlander. Top of the lineup has rallied. So again, what's hinging on today is a series win or a series split. Dodgers will be here beginning tomorrow night for this critical 3-game series. It's amazing. You got this Thursday afternoon game. We talked about it last week. I want to say at Dodger Stadium. I was watching on Sunday. There's 20,000 people there. This ballpark completely full today. People are through the roof excited, and they should be. It's like what happened last weekend was so disappointing and so frustrating. And here you are a week later, and guess what? No matter what happened last weekend, it's still going to be equally as exciting and playoff-like atmosphere and dramatic and opportunistic. Like that's the thing of 162. You have opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and I think that still exists here for the Padres. We'll see if they win this game or not. Certainly, there's plenty of opportunities. It's only the fourth inning. Win or lose, they'll have opportunities this weekend against the LA Dodgers and down the stretch as well, even with last weekend.
Yeah, it's frustrating in the moment, and that's how we reacted. Like we were very frustrated after the sweep, but we also, it doesn't define their season,
right?
It's not the end of the season. It felt like a big blow, not only to their chances, but just like the confidence,
right,
that you might have had in this team to actually do it this time and get over that hump and win a division. But yeah, things change very quickly in a week.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see if they win this game or not. And listen, if they're 2 games back heading into the Dodgers series, again, the Dodgers would be a favorite in the division. But if you're 1 back and 30-something games remain and you play a team 3 times, then truly nothing has been determined. I mean, literally nothing has been determined.
No, nothing has
with that much time remaining in a year.
Yeah. While it feels like it's a long shot,
I don't think does it feel like a long shot?
Well, I was going to say, while it might feel that way because it's every time that the Padres has gotten close to the Dodgers, they end up falling on their face.
Yeah, that's true.
It is, as you said, it's right there for the taking.
Right.
And it's 1 game. Now it is technically 2, but like we just saw this week, Padres gained a game on the Dodgers. Now we'll see what happens in this game.
Right.
But they gained a game on the Dodgers in 3 days.
Okay, here's my question. We'll get to Eric on line 1 in a second, but give me your optimal lineup. Okay, a Padres lineup, regardless of. See, the way sometimes we're talking about it is like, hey, why don't they just start these 9? But of course, a lot of this is contingent on is it a right-handed starter or is there a left-handed starter? But I guess we could just say for righties. Like against right-handed pitching, I think we all agree. Obviously, Ryan O'Hearn's always in there against right-handed pitching. Gavin Sheets, based on last night and the 2 home runs, he should be in there against right-handed pitching. So like what's your optimal 9 for the Padres right now?
Are we doing everybody's healthy?
I think you have to do everyone's healthy. Okay. I do think you have to do everyone's healthy. Like, yeah, Jackson Merrill's playing, for example, in this lineup.
So, all right. So I did actually write it down.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say, I think you talked about it last night in the wrap-up show too.
All right. So I got Tatis leading off. I'm going to go with O'Hearn hitting second.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Manny hitting third. I'll go Jackson hitting cleanup. I'll go Liriano hitting fifth.
Okay.
I'll go Sheets hitting sixth. I'll go Xander hitting seventh. Jake hitting eighth. Fermin hitting ninth.
Yeah.
And guess who's not in that lineup?
Well, you don't have Luis Ariz in that lineup.
Correct. But it doesn't matter because O'Hearn would be your first baseman, better defensively there, and Sheets would be your DH.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if we get there or not. Like we talked about this yesterday. It's like it's easy for us to put Ariz on the bench, and it's a whole other thing for the Padres to actually do it and have him platoon.
It's so easy. Like, it's so easy
it's easy
for
to
us.
talk about, and I have no problem talking about it. And truthfully, what we're saying makes 100% sense. And I mean, but you could make the argument though that Ariz should be in there against right-handed pitching, and then Ariz could be off your bench against left-handed pitching. That's where again it gets more complex. I don't think it's as simple as just one lineup because I do think Schultz recognizing is against left-handed pitching, this is what I want to do. Against right-handed pitching, this is what I want to do. But then again, you get into the postseason, like, okay, you're facing two lefties in the series. So you're going to sit Ryan O'Hearn and Gavin Sheets because you're facing two lefties in the series. And it's a 3-game series.
Yeah, you face you face Blake Snell and Kershaw potentially,
and then you don't start those guys.
And then isn't the lefty on Philly Sanchez? He's really good.
Yeah, Christopher Sanchez.
He's a lefty, right?
I think he is. Let's see.
Trying to think of like the better lefties. Yeah, Christopher Sanchez
with his 6.5 WAR this year.
So that's it right there. It's like Christopher Sanchez. Now he's a tough lefty, but when there's a lefty on the mound,
what are they going to do?
What are they going to exactly? I don't know. I mean, it's much better when they face a righty. It's so much easier when they have to do that because the lineup just makes so much more sense. But when they face a lefty, they have a ton of left-handed bats, and it just kind of becomes a situation where you're taking one of your power bats out of the lineup for a guy with a 590 OPS in Jose Iglesias, and then keeping Luis Ariz, who's not good against lefties either, in the lineup as well.
And it feels so magnified in the postseason because you're like, wait, you're sitting Ryan O'Hearn. It's like a best of 3.
Yeah.
So like you're sitting it for like half the series because there's a left-handed pitcher on the mound. Let's sneak in this call with Eric, who's been very patient. Eric on line 1, 877-767-4760. Eric, you're back with us on John and Jim.
Awesome, guys. Thanks. Love hearing the Padres talk. Hey, so, aside from all the power that happened yesterday, how about that quality start, right, by our starting pitcher? I mean, he's already right up there with Dylan Cease. I think he's one behind, which, by the way, Dylan Cease might end up pitching one as well today, which will make it 3 straight quality starts for the Padres. And I'm touching on that because I think the starting pitching is gonna help balance out somewhat of a lack of offense later on down the line. And another thing, as far as the starting lineup goes, I mean, if I got Tatis at the top, who's having, I think, his best on-base percentage year, but career-wise, besides maybe his first year, I would rather have a 3-time batting champion trying to move him around if he's on second base. I mean, the guy hits for contact, Luis Ariz. Ryan O'Hearn is nice and everything. Gavin Sheets, we all love him. Merrill is great, but I think Ariz, you got to have Ariz batting behind a guy who's always on base in Tatis.
Eric, appreciate the call, man. We can react on the other side. Plus, some news that will impact Padres fans moving forward. Where will you be watching the Padres in 2026 on television and streaming? We'll discuss on the other side. Our friend Alan Sleewa joins us coming up at 5 p.m. We'll hear from Mike Schild postgame. It's John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
This update's brought to you by SDG&E. Padres have fought back to tie the game up here at 2 apiece. We're in the top of the 5th inning today. Padres looking for the series win. Dodgers, they're in Colorado, and they are finishing up their game against the Rockies. They currently lead the Rockies right now 8-3 in the top of the 8th inning. Of course, the Dodgers have a 1-game lead in the National League West. The Padres win today, and the Dodgers win. The lead will stay the same at 1 game heading into a 3-game series starting tomorrow night at Petco Park. In peak wildfire season, as the last resort, SDG&E may need to shut off power in specific areas for public safety. Learn more about public safety power shutoffs at sdgne.com/PSPS.
All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. We'll hear from Mike Schild postgame again. Alan Slewa will join us coming up as well at 5 p.m. There was a report today from The Athletic that Major League Baseball is nearing a deal with ESPN for basically all of their local broadcast rights. So, for example, the Padres broadcast rights have been owned by MLB, right, in recent seasons, ever since Bally Sports went under, essentially. So under this deal, if it comes to fruition, Padres.TV games would move from where they've been, which is Padres.com, MLB TV, Padres.TV, to an ESPN platform. So what we don't know is what would the cost be? Do you have to be an ESPN direct-to-consumer buyer? Like, there's all kinds of things we don't know. What I know right now is I get an email from MLB.TV. They said, you want to renew your package? It's $99.99. I say yes. I can watch it on my phone. I can watch it on my computer. I can watch it on my TV. I'm assuming we'll be able to do the same thing, even if this heads over to ESPN. Watch on phone, watch on computer, watch on TV. But once again, there's some unknowns here because we went from like Fox Sports San Diego to Bally Sports to MLB.TV. And if this deal does come to fruition, and it's expected to per The Athletic, then games for the Padres in 2026, 2027, and 2028 will be on ESPN platforms.
So here's the part of the release that would let me to believe that the price will go up.
Right.
Says that fans would likely need to subscribe to ESPN either directly or through an operator, and then for an additional price, they would be able to receive their local team's games.
So when you say an operator, like we have YouTube TV, we have ESPN on YouTube TV. So YouTube TV is our operator. So if I'm already paying the $80 a month, hypothetically, can I then, again, we don't know the answer. Then for an additional X number of dollars a month, I can watch the San Diego Padres.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like to me, which is kind of like what's going on right now.
What we do right now is we pay for MLB.TV for the year, even though we have YouTube TV as well.
Correct. So we're already paying for YouTube TV, although some people wouldn't be right now. But you and I are already paying for YouTube TV. In the event of these games going to an ESPN platform, you just have to pay the additional monthly fee to watch them, and then maybe they're in like an ESPN app. It's all very confusing. Truthfully, I love getting set in my ways.
Oh, me too.
Open the Padres app.
Yep.
There's the game. It's at Padres.com. Now, ESPN is not a hard platform. I mean, we all use ESPN. It's not the hardest platform in the world. Just keeps moving. It feels like there's been a lot of movement with the Padres TV rights over this decade. They've been on like 4 platforms. If they go to ESPN in 2026, from Bally Sports San Diego, Fox Sports San Diego, MLB.TV, and then potentially ESPN.
I saw this on social media today. I forget who tweeted it out.
Okay.
But the gist of the tweet was, as Don. Thanks, Mudley. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning as the Padres lead 2-1 over the Dodgers. And now here's what ESPN's talking about with Stephen A. Smith and the Cowboys regular season matchup with the Eagles in week 3. And then it's
so true.
And it's like
SEC football kicks off this weekend from Nashville when Vanderbilt takes on Arkansas.
Yeah, this pitch and change is brought to you by First Take. Stephen A. Smith, give us your thoughts on the Cowboys quarterback's position lately or whatever.
Does it kind of feel like too recently that ESPN is involved in like every single rights deal? That,
they're getting everything.
NBA, inside the NBA, this WrestleMania thing or WWE thing that came down the other day. Local rights for Major League Baseball games in 2026, 2027, and 2028. Like it feels like they're really like widening their grasp
if this ends up going to an ESPN platform, or at least that's how you watch it, is through an ESPN platform, can we please at least get like a proper pre and post game show? I mean, come on. Can we get some? I mean, I love Mike Pomeranz is great, but can we get some like real, actual post game content?
It's interesting when you say something like that. I wouldn't imagine that if ESPN gets in bed with Major League Baseball, they're like, "Yo, let's go out and hire." You know what I mean? I feel like they're just taking the product that MLB sells them and putting it on their platform.
Yeah. Also, don't mess with Don and Mud.
Well, no, they can't. I mean, Don and Mud are under contract. Right.
But I'm sure that, let's be real. We know that Major League Baseball had a lot to do with how the broadcast is being done now, including who they hired for their pregame show and postgame show, how they do things. Major League Baseball, they are the ones that kind of put this thing together. Like they're the producers of the broadcast.
Okay.
So now with it going to ESPN, wouldn't ESPN then be producers of the broadcast?
I don't really think so. I need to read the entirety of the deal. It sounds to me like they're writing a check to Major League Baseball to then have the rights to air these games. But they're just taking the product that already exists and putting it on a different platform.
That would make sense.
That's what it sounds like to me. This isn't ESPN buying the rights to Major League Baseball Sunday night game. Like Sunday night games, ESPN will have its own commentators. But every Padres game and every Guardians game, they're just going to take what already exists and put it on like the ESPN app. That would be my guess. Yeah. Plus, we heard a deal. Didn't Don sign a deal that essentially committed him to the Padres for like the rest of his career? Didn't that happen this offseason?
He did sign a contract extension, but I don't know the length of that. It sounds right.
Something along those lines. A handful of plus years. So I'd be very surprised if anything changed with their crew because of a move like this.
It can't, because if it did, this town would riot.
That's what I'm saying. If something happened with their crew, it's because of their own crew's decision. Like if Don Orsillo, if he retired one day, or if Mud retires at some point, okay, that's their own choice. But because ESPN steps in, I don't need like Scott Van Pelt after dark calling Padres games. I mean, I just. Nobody needs that. There's no time for that. There's 30 major league teams. I don't think that's the business they want to be in.
And the teams that would be with ESPN would be the Cleveland Guardians, the Padres, the Twins, Diamondbacks, and the Rockies. Those are the teams under MLB control.
So but it says here, like I'm reading, would have their local broadcast distributed through an ESPN platform. So they would have their local broadcast. Again, I think the key word is the D word, distributed. As opposed to like actually having all the controls over who's the talent, for example.
Now, are they getting money from this? Is this the quote unquote TV deal that we've been wanting Eric Grupner to go out and get for the last 4 years?
So Andrew Marchand reported that the deals that Major League Baseball is working on with ESPN and with, let's say, wherever Sunday Night Baseball goes, Home Run Derby goes, potentially Netflix, and playoffs, he's reporting that the entirety of those deals could be more or will be more than the MLB package with ESPN. Remember that huge, like the $550 million? He's saying when piecemealed up, they actually could get more. The reason ESPN wants these rights is, let's say they're writing a check, I'm making up, for $200 million, but then they're selling the games for, like you and I know, for $24.99 a month or whatever it is.
Be more than that, probably.
So you take the $200 million and you put it across all these teams and you make it back in the monthly subscribers.
Well, however it works out.
Yep.
You just want to see the Padres get a good chunk of money back, because without it, you're kind of doing razor thin margins here. Like there's not much profit happening with the Padres right now. They're investing a lot of the money that they make, damn near almost all of it, back into the team. And so without that extra source of income to make the margins look better, they're just going to be like hanging on by a tightrope here.
It's a really good point.
And when they eventually, I mean, I hate to say it, but when eventually they start losing again, hopefully it's not for a while, but they will. Just that's a cycle of how sports works. Unless they want to just invest and have a $250 million payroll every single year, and that's great. But then you're going to have a problem, because those margins that you're getting right now from sellout after sellout after sellout, it's just not going to be there anymore.
Yeah, it's a very interesting point. You're right. They're operating in a different world than some of these teams that are still on TV. Dodgers are still on a regional sports network. still get $200-300 million a year. We have no idea how much money the Padres make. Sorry. We have no idea how much money the Padres are making on TV. But I do know this: the Padres have taken a lead from the Giants at Petco in the 5th inning. So from 2-0 down, the Padres have taken a lead with a chance to do significant damage against Justin Verlander in the 5th inning. It's now 4-2 Padres, as a ball that was bunted 30 feet results in 2-run scoring for San Diego as the ball was thrown away down the right field line. So the Padres have come back. They've taken a lead. They're 4 innings away from a series win. So it's amazing how quickly things can change from 2-0 down to 4-2 up, and now 4 innings away with their bullpen from potentially winning the series and having the Dodgers at Petco Park on Friday night. So this game has kind of been flipped on its head over the last 30 or so minutes.
So here's the reason why that bunt worked in this situation is because the Giants defensively are awful. But in a other situation, why are you bunting there?
Oh, I have no problem with it. 2-2, first and second, nobody out.
Oh, there's nobody out? Oh,
yeah.
I thought there was one out. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought there was one out.
They're just bunting. Long. Yeah.
There's a bunt forever.
No, I think, honestly, in that situation, it probably makes sense, even if the play is made.
Yeah.
Right? With nobody. I'm with you on one out completely. I completely agree.
I thought there was 2.
Out,
that's my bad.
With nobody out. Yeah. No,
my back is faced away from the game.
Yeah,
and I looked over my shoulder and there's like a little red dot that points to the bottom of the 5th inning. I'm like, why are you bunting with one out?
100%. All right, we're going to react to this game on the other side. Plus, we have the most popular players in baseball, according to Little Leaguers, that we're going to share with you coming up as well. We're here until 6 p.m. We'll hear from Mike Schilt when it goes final. We'll hear from Alan Sliwa at 5 p.m. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, life comes at you fast. From 2-0 down, the Padres are running away from the Giants right now. 6-2 in the fifth. They lead. They've chased Justin Verlander. Last night, 4 home runs. Today, 3 consecutive bunts. All right, and they are winning in a myriad of ways. They now lead 6-2. Manny Machado just had a big 2-run double. Padres well on their way with Cease, with this bullpen. 12 outs away from winning the series and moving on to the Dodgers. But a nice response here after falling behind early, playing poor defense. Padres have responded in a big way this afternoon.
You had the line of the day on social media. Say it.
Huge line.
Say it.
Bunt Diego.
There you go.
But it's been more than
Put it
that.
on a t-shirt.
I would love to.
I know.
I would love to do that.
Bunt Diego.
Yeah,
that's very good. I gave you a clap for that one.
I like it.
I like that a lot.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good job. Yeah, this one feels.
This game's over.
Yeah, Justin Verlander.
No, Hearn just got hit on the hand.
Party's over, Grandpa. Oh, he did? Jeez. Just hitting people left and right now. Giants suck. They're awful. They're going to be 2-10 against the Padres this year. 2-10.
That's insane.
That is such good work by the Padres because you need to beat up on bad teams. Giants weren't a bad team all year long. They turned into an awful team. But we'll see. See how this one finishes out. I think this one's over, and you're going to go into this weekend against the Dodgers just 1 game back. Take 2 of 3. Guess what? You're now tied on Monday.
Right. That's a great point. I mean, you're at home. They've been as good as anyone, right?
Yes, they
basically.
Have.
I mean, this is like
one of the better home teams in baseball, not counting the Milwaukee Brewers.
But it was still one of the better home teams in baseball. And pacing for the most wins maybe ever at home in a Padres season, right? Did 98 have like 50-something wins? Like this could be the most wins they've ever had in a home season. And they have the Dodgers coming here for 3 games. So yes, the Dodgers swept them at Dodger Stadium, but that's not to say that the Padres can't return the favor by winning a series. They got to do it. We've made the point. Obviously, we're not going to go into the series being like, it's a guarantee they're going to sweep the Dodgers. You can't do that. But are they capable of winning a series at home against the Dodgers? Ask yourself that. Yeah, I think they're capable of playing better than they did at Dodger Stadium. And that's what we want to see. And if they take 2 out of 3, then it is a complete track race for the final month of the year.
They're 40-21 at home. They'll be 41-21 after this game. Now, you do look at the rest of the National League, and you're like, oh, okay. Every team in the postseason picture right now, they're all amazing at home as well.
You know what that means? Play home games.
You need to play home games. Exactly. Right. That's why the division or the 4 seed is so critically important to start out your postseason run.
Huge.
Because it's either you get the 3 seed, boom, you're going to get home playoff games either in the division round to start or in the wild card round. You would love to get the 2 seed. That'd be amazing. But if you don't get that, you got to get the 4 seed because then you'd be playing the 5 seed at home in the wild card round.
It's massive, especially with the way they play this year at home. Remember, was it only a year ago? We're like, why is this team not good at home? There's been a couple years in there where they didn't take off until like July or August. They were under 500.
Yeah, they were a bad team at home for half of last year.
But this team started, I think, 11-0 at home this year. They haven't really looked back. And if they win today, to your point, they've won 2 out of every 3 home games. Think about that. All year long, they've won 2 out of every 3 home games. And now they get the Dodgers here this weekend. And again, it's like we said Monday, so you can't look ahead. I can look ahead now. I'm not necessarily, listen, we'll see what happens with this game, but like it's right here. We're innings away from the Dodgers being here.
The Giants against the Padres bullpen this year has been not fun for the Giants. Padres bullpen has an ERA sub-1 against the Giants this year.
Yeah, so obviously you feel great if you're a Padres fan right now. And I'll probably overreact against the weekend series, truthfully. I think there was a lot of reaction last weekend. I think there'll be a lot of reaction this weekend. And I feel like Friday feels important to me because if they lose Friday, I'm going to go down the same song and dance. Here we go again. Can't beat the Dodgers. Can't beat the Dodgers. Lucy pulled the football away.
That's why I'm going into this series just not with too much expectation or hope. Like, we'll see what happens. Like last weekend, I was going in to that series thinking to myself, all right, here we go. Like, it's game on. Can't wait for this weekend. They're going to play some really good baseball. The complete opposite happened, and they looked awful. So I'm not going to make the same mistake again against the Dodgers. This weekend is a sit back, prove it to me series. Like, go out and prove it, guys.
Well, what about like excitement level?
Excitement level is still very high. I think that's different than expectation level.
Expectation isn't high.
No,
because of what has happened this year and last year.
Correct, against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
The expectation level against the Dodgers specifically is not very high until they can go out and prove it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm almost just expecting it to happen. That's probably naive. Expecting them to play better than they have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like we finally reached the point in the year where maybe Mike Schild has figured out his lineup. The Padres, if they win today, are 17-7 in their last 24 games. That is a very consistent team.
Yep.
A very strong team heading towards the postseason. Still plenty of time to play, but heading towards the postseason. But you're right. I mean, we went down this path when they were 14-3 heading into Dodger Stadium. And what happened? They played poorly. So they need to get over the hurdle of the LA Dodgers for whatever reason. Like, they just have to get over that hurdle. Other teams have. Angels got over it and was 6-0.
Yeah.
There's other teams that play the Dodgers very well this year, but the Padres haven't.
There's also sometimes in baseball, there's just a team that you just can't beat for whatever reason.
Right.
Like this year, Dodgers couldn't beat the Angels. This year, Giants can't beat the Padres.
That's true.
And then vice versa with the Dodgers and Padres. Padres can't beat the Dodgers this year in the regular season.
Right.
Obviously. Hopefully that changes this weekend and they play better baseball, because the most disappointing part about last weekend, other than the fact they got swept,
right,
was how awful they looked while getting swept.
Yeah,
after going 14-3 leading into that series. Like, they couldn't hit, they couldn't pitch, they weren't playing good defense,
fell behind,
they weren't running the base paths well enough. They were getting thrown out, they were walking to everybody.
Yeah.
That's also like the part of it where I'm like, yo, are these guys ready for the bright lights or what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated by it. Now, what would I say if the Padres do finally put together a series against the Dodgers and just win it, just take 2 out of 3? Do I feel like that erases everything that's played out last October and earlier in the year? No, probably not. I'm not fully convinced that they're going to, go through the Dodgers, but you'd feel better about it, wouldn't you?
Wouldn't that give you more confidence?
100%.
Wouldn't that give this team more confidence? Like, okay,
100%.
We can do this.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like that whole, we can't beat the Dodgers narrative.
Yep.
It's just get it out of your head, because if you lose another series this weekend to LA,
I can't deal with that.
I'm going into a postseason series. You're going to just be like, well, I hope they do what they did in 2022 again.
Just pray.
Yeah.
And who knows if they even meet, honestly, in the postseason. But I do know this. The Padres are trending directly for the National League playoffs. The question will be
playoffs.
Yeah, the playoffs. They are trending for the National League playoffs. No, I can't say they're trending for the NOS, because you're right. They're going to have to prove it to us. Yeah, we've said it before, and we'll probably say it again. All right, we didn't get to it here. We'll do it on the other side. The most popular players in baseball, according to Little Leaguers. We'll share that with you coming up. Plus, there's a college football scheduling change that's going to impact San Diego State potentially. We'll explain that in the 3 o'clock hour. Then we're going to hear from Mike Schild, and Alan Sliwa is on the show today as well at 5. We also have a giveaway, right? We do. We have the Nelly tickets. We'll give away a 4-pack of tickets to see Nelly, and that'll be a week from yesterday at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater.
By the way, Coors Field is kind of Coors Fielding right now.
Score?
9-5.
Inning?
Dodgers. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rockies just hit a 2-run homer. It's 9-5 Dodgers.
Not over.
Hey, man. Coors Field can Coors Field sometimes.
Crazier things have happened.
4-0 lead in that ballpark?
Yeah.
That's not a lot.
No, it really isn't. So crazier things have happened. We'll keep you updated on that, plus Padres and Giants. Again, a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see Nelly in the 4 o'clock hour, Alan Sliwa at 5 p.m. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app.
This update's brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Padres now lead the Giants 8-2 as we head to the top of the 6th inning at Petco Park. Dodgers, they're beating the Rockies right now 9-5 in the top of the 9th inning. If both of those scores hold, then tomorrow night when the Dodgers come to town, Padres will be trailing the Dodgers by 1 game in the National League West. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All the protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Hour 2, John and Jim with you until 6, reacting to Padres Giants, getting you ready for Padres Dodgers this weekend. Once this game ends, we will hear from Mike Schill and have further reaction. Plus, Alan Sliwa, friend of the show, Padres fan. Lakers Talk with Alan Sliwa. He will join us coming up at 5 p.m. There's an article you shared about the most popular big leaguers according to little leaguers. Right? The most popular players in the big leagues among Little League World Series players.
Correct.
And there's some Padres on that list.
There are some Padres on that list. So, number 1, it's Shohei Ohtani.
Surprise.
Right. I get it. Even though it was funny that girl, teenage girl,
okay,
she might have been a softball player, said that Ohtani is a fraud.
I don't know. Oh yeah, I do remember that. That's right. I do remember that.
She said I went to a Dodgers Angels game.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Or she went to one of Ohtani's games, hit a home run, he caught it. They got to go in a suite or whatever. They asked him for an autograph, and he said no and declined. And she said that he's like not humble and he's fake or something along those lines.
That's honestly amazing.
I mean, let's be real here. Guy's a phony. I think he's a phony.
That was incredible.
I think he's a phony. I think that it's just kind of one of those things that people sweep under the rug because they want Ohtani to be this like perfect face of baseball player. He
works hard on his image.
He does.
And it hasn't really worked.
I think he's a fake.
Okay.
Mookie Betts is number 2. Interesting, but not surprising. Ronald Acuna Jr. is number 3. Actually, scratch that.
Tied, right?
Him and Mookie are tied.
Okay.
For the most popular players according to Little League World Series players.
All right.
Number 3, or tied for 3rd, you have Francisco Lindor of the Mets and Fernando Tatis Jr. of your San Diego Padres.
All right, so Tati with America's Youth is popular per a sampling of Little League World Series players.
That's not surprising because he's just cool.
And he's young too. Yeah, he's cool. He's hip.
He has the look. He has the swag, even though he doesn't hit for home runs anymore. Like he has that cool look about him that stands out. And, you know, there's no other baseball player in the league that looks like Fernando Tatis Jr.
And I don't think a lot of kids are that concerned with like his shoulder surgery or like his 2021 missed season.
Or his OPS being like down the last 3 years.
2021, 12-year-olds were 8. So like you're worried about the here and now. So like you're a 12-year-old, you like Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah, he is a cool guy.
He's a cool guy.
Very cool. Then you have a 3-way tie for 4th, John.
Okay.
Freddie Freeman, Aaron Judge, and Manny Machado.
So there's like 3 teams represented. There's more than that. But the teams with multiple players are the Padres and the Dodgers, right?
That is correct.
So 3 Dodgers, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman. 2 Padres, Tatis, Machado. The other players, Judge in New York, Acuna in Atlanta.
You know what that tells me is that this Dodgers-Padres rivalry has kind of broken through nationally.
That's a good point. I agree with that.
That if there was not a rivalry there, I don't think we would see this many Padres players on the list or vice versa if the Dodgers stunk.
It's an interesting point.
I do think that, you know, you get the national mark. Ronald Acuna Jr., he's obviously very cool as well.
Stars, yeah.
Lindor, New York.
Yep.
Judge, New York.
You know what else this tells me?
What?
That kids like hitters. Other than Ohtani, who is a brilliant hitter. Yeah, he pitches, but he's a brilliant hitter. There's no pitcher on this list. I mean, if Ohtani didn't pitch, he'd still be on this list. Yeah, 50-50 guys. So, like, this is all position players.
Well, no one's being like, I love
Mason Miller. I mean, you only see him every like 4th day for an inning.
Right.
And then with starters, you're right. I mean, it feels like
Paul Skeens maybe was one that you could have seen on this list.
Good point.
And maybe if you keep doing this list, give me like a top 5.
Like Scooble. Maybe not, but Skeens.
Skeens for sure.
Skeens actually, now that I say it and now that you said it, it surprises me that Skeens is not on this list. Young dude.
Right.
Cool girlfriend. Right.
Yes. His TikTok, right?
All those things.
Livy Dunn, it breaks through.
So we said this game was over. Giants, Padres. I still think it will be, but Rafi Devers and Willie Adames have both homered.
Oh, nice.
Now, the good news about that is when you homer with no one on base, they're counting it as 1.
It's 1 point?
It's a oneer.
It's a oneer.
They call them oneers. Oh, we might have had a fan interference situation.
Another fan interference.
We may have had a fan interference situation.
Oh, no, because it didn't,
the fielder wasn't even there.
Hurt from making a catch.
So what do we make? Here's what I would say about today real quick. Can we get back to this for a second? Because you're going to have this good feeling you're going to have a good feeling if they win the series and the Dodgers are coming. What can I say about Dylan Cease right now? The 2 runs were not his fault with the misplays, but on his way out, he allows back-to-back home runs to Devers and Adames. So, like, I guess the question is, are you trusting Dylan Cease?
No.
Right now? Would you have been trusting of him if he got out of this thing at 8-2? You say, well, 3 of his last 4 starts have been good.
It'd make you feel better.
So this kind of changes your feeling on Cease, the back-to-back home runs.
I still don't trust Dylan Cease in a postseason game. I just don't.
Right, regardless of whether he got Adames out right there.
Now, if he came out of September with like a 1.02 ERA,
okay,
he was 4-0, that might change my opinion on things.
Right.
But he is too inconsistent. He gives up too many home runs. He loses command of the zone. And now you got back-to-back kind of blah starts. Actually, this was a blah start, and Saturday was an awful start.
Is this a blah or like a blah plus? Because the reason I ask it is they literally gave the Giants 2 runs. I mean, they did, right?
Well, yeah, you're right.
They gave them. The ball was hit in the air. Fernando Tatis Jr. did not catch the ball. They gave them 2 runs. Now the 2 home runs, though, just Cease, man, you're always wanting more. I mean, I agree with the general point, which is you're always wanting more, and he cannot be considered trustworthy the postseason. 2 reasons. A, he walks everyone in big games. Mm-hmm. B, then he's susceptible to something like this where he's giving up the high batting average on balls in play, whatever you want to say. He's giving up way too many home runs for his stuff, right?
He pitched into the 5th, but it's a 5 and dive.
Into the 6th.
Or sorry, he pitched into the 6th.
But he didn't get it out.
So it's 5 innings. Yep. And now it's like, can you give us, I mean, you're up
a little more.
They're up 8-2.
Yeah. You got to get through a 6th inning. I agree.
Come on, man.
Yep. And now you got to go to the Estradas now you got to go to your A team, which is fine. And that's why they're there. But then you got the Dodgers coming and you're going to need those same guys tomorrow.
4.71 ERA on the season.
Nah. Crazy, man.
I mean, if the Padres win today, it'll be 6-11.
Can we write down on a piece of paper what we think Dylan Cease's contract is going to be in free agency?
If you want to.
Or like how much total money do you think Dylan Cease will get in free agency?
155.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was going to say under 200, but
if he had a great year and if he backed up last year with another year with the top 4, top 5 Cy Young finish,
200.
But you're not getting that. I'm not giving him that.
I agree.
Now, if he goes out and he balls out in the postseason,
big if though. But you're right. You get paid off that.
Yeah, you're going into it's like, you got the regular season and then the postseason, and that's, the season that you can make a lot of money is the postseason.
100%.
And if you go out and you pitch lights out in the postseason and you have some big moments, that's going to give teams the confidence and the reassurance to go out and probably give you a big time contract. But if you go out and lay another egg in the postseason like you did last year, dude, I'm not touching you with a 10-foot pole, bro.
It's the classic Snell where I wouldn't even want them to offer him. When Snell had his great season when he walked, he was the Cy Young Award winner. But we said, you got the best of him. Don't even consider, even if you have the money, you could spend it better probably elsewhere.
Oh, Snell's a way better pitcher than Dylan Cease. It's not even close.
Well, fair, but Snell post San Diego has certainly not given you reasons to give him 150. Now, he didn't get that money initially, but would you have felt good if Snell got money here based on what he's done? He's been hurt, right?
I would not feel great about it.
But 20 games last year, he was good, 3-1-2. This year, 5 games.
What's his ERA?
1.8, but 5 games.
5 games. But when he's
now
out
in the postseason, you're right.
Postseason, he is a postseason pitcher, and that's why you give him the money.
No, you're right.
And when he's out there, he also has performed. He found something back here in San Diego that he has taken with him for the last couple seasons
to be effective, and when he's out there.
The only issue with him is his health. It's a big issue.
It's a big issue.
I get it. But when you're out there, when he's out there, he performs. When Dylan Cease is out there, you have no clue what you're getting.
Yeah, that's fair.
Even though he does post and he does.
Yeah, he makes the starts.
Yeah,
he's basically started every. Yeah, he doesn't miss starts, but yeah, I mean, Cease is again. What I said coming out of the Dodgers series is like I got real questions about this rotation, and I probably still have real questions about this rotation because I go back to who threw Monday. Well, it's Nestor Cortez, but you're gonna need him every 5th day. Sunday, Yu Darvish, 2 home runs in the first inning. Like the rotation questions remain for me heading into the Dodgers series. They didn't really quell them.
Oh, they remain for the rest of the year, dude.
Well, I need to see Michael King back.
I need to see Michael King pitch effectively and be healthy. Dylan Cease, I kind of just, you are what you are this year. You're a 4.7 ERA guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, numbers suggest that's true.
What he is. I mean, Darvish, I have no idea.
Right.
Nick Pivetta, you feel very confident with. Give him the ball game 1. And if Michael King doesn't return to form here, then it's like pick a name out of the hat for game 2 and 3 and 4 and so forth.
Yeah, I know. That's the crazy thing about it. I mean, it's Nick Pivetta and then cross your fingers.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers that you get that, 4 2/3 inning start in the postseason where you leave with a lead, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see if the Padres can hold on here. There's a scheduling change in college football that's going to impact San Diego State. Plus a fascinating article from Annie Halbert today in the UT about the role social media is playing right now in professional sports, specifically with Major League Baseball and the Padres. The hate on social media that reaches Major League Baseball players, including inside the Padres clubhouse. So we'll share that with you coming up. Again, we are here until 6 p.m. Alan Slewa, friend of the show, will join us at 5. And in the 4 o'clock hour, your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets. This will be to see Nelly with Ja Rule August 27th. That's a week from yesterday at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. We're here until 6. Full reaction to Padres and Giants coming up as well. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, John and Jim. We remember that one teacher made a difference who believed in us, challenged us, or just made learning fun. Now's your chance to say thank you. With iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose, nominate outstanding public school teachers gone above and beyond for their students to win $5,000 to stock their classroom with whatever they need. Today's teacher of the day, Miss Peace, who teaches at Wilson Middle School in San Diego. People told us her students feel seen, empowered, and inspired. Congrats, Mrs. Peace. You're in the running to win $5,000 for your classroom. Nominate your favorite teacher at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Thanks,
right.
Miss Peace.
Well done. Congratulations on that. So we'll keep you updated on Padres Giants. They lead 8-4. The Padres do in the 6th. So there's this developing story out of college football that has been like a decade or two in the making. It's the SEC aligning itself with the Big Ten in terms of its conference schedule. They'll go from 8 conference games to 9 conference games. There's been a massive point of contention because the Big Ten plays 9, the SEC plays 8. How do you decide who goes to the playoffs if one team plays 9 conference games, another team plays 8? It's not like a level playing field. The SEC finally just gave in, arguably. They're going to get more money from ESPN. They'll play their 9 conference games. We'll see what it means for the future of the college football playoff. But it got me thinking. San Diego State has multiple SEC home and homes on its schedule moving forward. Missouri and Oklahoma. So when you add SEC games, you take away non-conference games.
I'm still getting used to
Oklahoma and the SEC.
Like Texas, Oklahoma,
The whole
SEC
thing.
powerhouses.
I mean, you're right. But so Oklahoma has a 3-game series coming up with San Diego State. One of the games is in San Diego. Missouri, I think, has either a 4 or 6-game series coming up with the Aztecs, believe it or not. Half of them are in San Diego. But now that you're going from 8 to 9 and your non-conference schedule goes from 4 to 3, what impact is that going to have on non-conference games against the Aztecs? And I don't know the answer to it, but I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I actually see JD Wicker tonight.
Oh, must be
and
nice.
I don't know if I mean, this came out like an hour ago.
Right.
So I don't know if there's really, who knows what it means for the 2028 season, but it's something to consider moving forward, what it means for San Diego State.
Are these things already like locked in though?
I think yes and no. There's always a way out with money.
Yes.
There's a lot of changing in college football scheduling because of circumstances.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example. Okay. Now that the SEC is going from 8 to 9, well, a lot of these teams already had 4 non-conference games scheduled for next year. Now they got to drop one. Okay. So you can't play 13 games. So next year, if I'm Kentucky and I had 4 non-conference games scheduled, now I have 9 conference games. I have to drop a non-conference game. So someone's coming off their schedule for next year.
Good point.
So that's the thing. And I do think here's what it is. It's another example of the P4 leagues trying to play P4 opponents because it's another game against a P4, their own league.
Yeah. What they want to do is they want to box out everybody else and they want to have their own little group, which is the big boys.
Exactly.
And they just want to make sure that, we are only competing against the best teams instead of having to,
play programs outside the power leagues.
Yeah.
Now, if there's any silver lining, we are now in a world where an expanded college football playoff guarantees a program outside the power leagues in the playoff. Last year, Boise State. Boise State actually was automatically in the round of 8.
Yeah, they got a bye.
That's right. They got the bye. They lost to Penn State in Arizona. But so the good news is you've got the expanded playoff, which didn't exist 10 years ago. The bad news is it feels like the power leagues are like kind of taking their ball and going home.
Yeah, what the Big Ten and the SEC would love to do is the college football playoff just be only schools from the Big Ten and the SEC.
Yeah, like AFC, NFC.
100%.
Almost like an NFL model.
And then everyone else can just go play in the corner.
ACC, like Wake Forest, go have fun. Like this isn't for you.
You guys aren't invited to the big boy table.
And we still don't know beginning next year how big the playoff is. Is it 12 teams? That's what it was last year. Is it 14 teams? Is it 16 teams? There was a radical idea from the Big Ten this weekend, 24, 28. That was thrown out there. They got so much
Everybody's
traction.
in.
Yeah, I mean, at 28. And I said, listen, if you're at 28, you better have the champions of all the leagues in. No, that's not part of the proposal. Like in basketball, at least you got 68. At least you let like everyone in.
Yeah.
But in football, like 28, only 2 group of 5 spots. That's what it would be. In 20. I'm like, you have 28 teams? You can't have room for more than 2?
6-6 Rutgers. Come on down.
And 11-1 Boise. Sorry.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good enough. You just didn't, your quality of opponent.
Yeah.
Your loss to Alabama, you just didn't look good.
Yeah, but that loss that Rutgers had on the road at Michigan was way more impressive than what Boise did going 11-1.
It just feels like nobody's really looking out for greater good sometimes. It's like everyone's trying to get their own.
Everyone's trying to get their own. Everyone's trying to get the most money. TV networks, conferences, they want the big games. That's what, NIL running rampant, right? It's just like you get quarterbacks making $2 million in NIL money. I mean, we're in 10 years, shoot, maybe in 5 years. Don't be surprised if you see the first player in college athletics in football who's a quarterback make a $5 million NIL deal.
Like again, like NFL money.
And at like 10 million, like you're like basically signing a contract almost 1 year for 10, 12, 15 million.
Which is like what these guys are getting in the NFL, if not more.
And maybe there is a quarterback out there that's getting 5 million for an NIL deal over a course of time. But I mean, it's the Wild West on steroids.
You brought up the good point though. They're like TV networks. I mean, I get it. Like if I'm Fox, do I want Texas playing Ohio State or do I want Ohio State playing Central Michigan? So I understand like the TV network, which is so heavily invested in it. They spend so much money, such a big sport. Other than the NFL, Americans watch college football more than anything else in this country other than the NFL. Right. And it's not close.
Nope.
So, like, do you want Ohio State playing Texas? By the way, they are week 1. It'll be massive. Ohio State won a national championship. Texas is preseason number 1. It'll do a massive number. So I get it from that perspective, but from another perspective, it's like you got a lot of programs that are trying. Again, in basketball, what if you took away opportunities for Gonzaga? What if you said, you know what, you can't. You're not in the power structure. San Diego State, you can't, but Gonzaga's played for a national championship. So has San Diego State. It's like, couldn't theoretically a Boise State in football, San Diego State, hopefully in the future, couldn't one of those programs do it? At least give them the opportunity, which they kind of have.
Yeah, kind of. And then you just go down the line and it's like, well, these teams still might box these people out.
Exactly. And they make it so hard for you. Like even last year, Boise got the bye. They changed the rules this year. Now it's straight seeding.
Right, because they didn't like how Boise got the bye.
You shouldn't get a bye. You got to be a road team in Happy Valley.
Right.
Moving forward. You shouldn't get a bye.
You can't have an opportunity to beat Penn State.
Yeah, exactly. All right. We are going to react to something Annie Halbrin wrote in the UT on the other side about social media and the hate that is fueled there towards professional athletes, including San Diego Padres players. They're all gambling plays in it as well. So we'll share that on the other side. In addition, once this game goes final, we'll hear from Mike Schilt. Alan Slewa joins us at 5. Padres are leading the Giants right now in the 7th inning, 8-4. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, hey guys, it is John and Jim again for the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. We've been telling you, now open is their hotel and spa over at Jamul Casino Resort. It's the next level of luxury. It's arrived. Treat yourself to a stunning new stay, rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments, and the thrills of Jamul Casino Resort, now all in one unforgettable destination.
And join Jamul Casino every Monday in August for Cash Candy Land. Chance to win big with 10 winners every hour at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m. Your odds, they're better than ever. Their Onyx players will receive an extra $500 in cash bonuses on top of their winnings, plus earn entries all month long by playing and getting 2-time entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 in cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000. This is a promotion that you will not want to miss.
Head there this weekend. Massive baseball series. Obviously, you can watch out at Jamul at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. Experience the ultimate sports showdown. Catch the Padres live, plus great food at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. It's at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place.
All right, this update's brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Padres Giants, final game of their 4-game series. Padres leading the Giants now 8-4 in the top of the 7th inning. It is a final in Colorado. The Dodgers did beat the Rockies 9-5. So the Padres win this game. They will still just be 1 game back of the Dodgers as we head into a 3-game series here at Petco Park between the two teams starting tomorrow night. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Padres and Giants are in the 7th inning, and the Padres lead 8-4, trying to hold on and win a series. That would be a 3rd straight win after losing the opener. And then the Dodgers, of course, will be here. The Dodgers did, as you probably just said. I wasn't listening.
Thanks.
I'm guessing this is what you said. I'm guessing you said the Padres score. I'm guessing you said the Dodgers beat the Rockies. And I'm guessing that might have been all you said.
I said
another
that.
Sports story in there?
No, that was it. And I just also said that going into tomorrow, if the score holds today in the Padres game, it will be a 1-game lead for the Dodgers.
Okay. So that's good. That's good. So we'll see if the Padres can hold on. Now, Annie Halbron, true friend of the show, right?
Who?
Oh, yeah, it's true. That's right. There's a little animosity with Jim. That's right. But Annie, who was written in the UT for years, wrote kind of a fascinating article today about the hatred on social media, which we're all aware of. If you spend any time on any platform, you are inundated with hatred. But then, like, the impact it has on professional athletes, and some of these quotes, Jim, are truly unbelievable. I have the article up, and the main quote that she has in here is, "It's constant people just wishing us death to ourselves, to our families. It's part of the new baseball era. It's pretty messed up. Gambling, social media rage. They're not just around baseball. They're inside it. The Padres clubhouse isn't immune." And there's quotes from a number of players. Fernando Tatis Jr. is one of them. And it's like a daily theme, whether it's opposing fans, people that are betting, people that are Padres fans that are just hateful because the player isn't performing. And, we talk about, like, it's part of the job, right? Dealing with media criticism. Is it part of the job having your lives and your children's lives literally threatened because you go 1 for 5, not 2 for 5? It shouldn't be. Should
Jinx.
not be. It should not be.
Should not be.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be.
It's the world we live in.
Man,
right?
It's social media is such a cesspool of majority losers out there. It's not real life. And that's coming from a guy that, like, I'm on social media a lot, and it's hard for me sometimes to, like, separate the two.
Real and fake?
Not real and fake, but just like, oh, someone called me an a-hole online. Am I an a-hole? It's one person.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. Or someone's like, your show's awful. It's like, oh no, everyone thinks our show sucks. Does everyone think your show sucks? Or does one random troll who is just wanting to...
Let me answer.
I know what you're going to say.
No, but your point is, we have no clue who these people are that we interact with 99% of the time. There's a good amount. There's some that are there for us each and every day. Like, I shared a direct message today from someone that is, spoke on how the show impacts their life.
Yeah, and that's the great part of social media.
Exactly.
There are sides of social media that are really, really great.
Including for athletes. They impact people in a positive way. A number of people.
It helps you connect with people that you would never be able to connect with before.
100%.
I also view it as a way to promote, this show, wrap-up show, to get our brand, our show out there.
100%.
But I also do think that, the gambling aspect of sports has really, I'm not gonna say ruined sports, but it makes sports not enjoyable at times if you're a gambler. Luckily, I'm not. I just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say, I think this whole thing did kind of start with fantasy sports. Fantasy football has turned into, I watch the games, and if a guy gets injured, I'm not like, oh man, I hope he's okay.
I hate him.
I'm upset that he got injured.
Right.
Because he's impacting my fantasy league. And that's ridiculous
money.
To think about. Of course, it's money. It's just so stupid to think about and watch the games like that, where all I care about is, did this guy score a touchdown for me? or did this guy get hurt, or is this guy healthy, instead of just watching the game and enjoying the game.
It's one thing, you brought up a really good point. It's one thing for us to put something on social media and someone to be like, Padres suck, Dodgers are great. Okay. Or it's another thing to someone say, you know what? You're a troll or your show sucks. It's another thing to go to the next level, which Andy's discussing here, which is like, you guys suck. I hope you die and I hope your family dies.
That's ridiculous.
Now, because you and we spent so much time on social media, and thank the Lord, knock on wood, we don't deal with that level of hate. We deal with some ridiculousness. We've seen ridiculous things if you're on there enough, but it's not like each and every day you're getting DMs like that. But when you read this article, players like, by the way, it's not just Fernando Tatis Jr., it's professional athletes.
Yeah.
It's you blow a save and someone says, you've seen it with kickers in college football.
Yeah.
Death threats for kickers in college football because your team was 10-0 and they missed a kick. And I don't know what you do to get rid of it, truthfully, because the platforms are made for interaction.
If you are a person out there that is a faceless person on the internet, right? You're just some like you're
an egg.
Your username is at tissues 479977642.
I love that account. Yeah, I get your point. These random nothing accounts.
Nothing accounts have no picture. Your username makes no sense.
11 followers.
Less than that.
4.
Sometimes less than that. And you go and you DM a professional athlete to go tell them to go like, hey, kill yourself, die. You are the lowest form of human life possible. You are such a low life loser if you do that. That I'm of the belief, while those things can be hurtful to many people and many people might take those things seriously, and mental health is a real thing. And if you told someone with a mental health issue to go do that,
cause serious problems.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would hope that these professional athletes just completely block it all.
Gavin Sheets in this article says he will not open his DMs.
Which is very smart.
Because again, that's truly the way in.
Yeah.
And he also limits who comments on his posts.
Which is also very smart as well.
On social media. And so again, there's certain things you can do. And here's the other thing. You can never get rid of it.
Never.
The social media platforms exist for this level of communication. There's guardrails that you can try. There's things the platforms have done, but there's always ways around them. This will be going on for as long as people interact on computers. And it is a damn shame. And I think what we say is completely fair. When I say player X is 1 for his last 31, it's a factual statement. I'm talking about someone's performance.
Got to be better, right?
Yeah. You need to be better. This team has lost 6 straight. That's not good enough. They need to be accountable. But it always ends there. And by the way, people think that's too much criticism.
I know.
But it's not. That's kind of my point on the media criticism or critiquing. They deal with this. You want to know why they can deal with this? Because it's way worse in other forms of their lives. They're dealing with these bots that are threatening them because they didn't cover a spread because they didn't bun a guy over.
Yeah, it's something that they would never say in real life to somebody to their face. And if they did, they would get knocked in the mouth.
Yeah, you don't want to do this to Tommy Pham.
Tommy Pham would actually fight you.
Yeah.
I just, the whole social media thing started out as like, wow, this is awesome.
Facebook.
Well, Facebook, I think it definitely morphed into just like everything's ridiculous.
But the way it started, remember you had to have a .edu back in the day.
MySpace.
Oh, it's a nice forum to communicate. And then boom, everything, all hell breaks loose.
Social media is, I'm not going to say the downfall to everything, but it feels like social media has completely taken over the everyday life of our society to the point where
a lot of people it has.
Yeah, for a lot of people it has. And I fall victim to it a lot and I hate it because I'm on social media way too much.
Imagine, aren't you envious of the people that don't even touch it? Brent's a good example. Brent uses like a platform a couple of times a day.
But yeah, he has Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not obsessively
That's
on
it though.
It's all he uses.
But I have Facebook and I never use Facebook though.
No,
like,
I understand.
never go on
that's
Facebook.
Probably healthy. Like, here's my example. For like most people, I feel like consume social media, but it's probably healthier. And by the way, I'm in my 40s, you're in your 30s. Imagine being 16 and consuming social media.
Dude.
Do you know how impressionable? I don't even remember really what I was thinking when I was 16. Like, you're not fully the person you are going to become mentally, right?
Yeah.
When you're 16, yet they're inundated. Everyone has phones.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to interact with their friends. They see everything.
Dude. It's scary, man.
Isn't it?
It is scary, especially
That's
for your
why
kids.
Jones will not leave our home until he's 41.
Smart. It's a smart thing
but
to do.
You can't hide it. It's just like it's a crazy world.
Yeah, I do find social media to be important and useful for certain things. Like, for our job, I search out stories and talking points and kind of like try to see what the pulse of what people are talking about in our community, and then try to translate that to talking points on our show, right? Or if there's say there's a world natural disaster, or there's something going on that you need to find information. Social media has turned into a place where it's very hard to find accurate information, unlike in the past when it was regulated and it showed you this account is a verified actual real account. Now it's the wild, wild west because Elon decided to make everything just up for grabs. And now it's just so difficult to find actual information. And by the way, AI has just started. You think social media is bad now?
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be even worse in the next 5-10 years because AI has definitely caught up to the point where I'm watching some videos online where I'm like, that looks real. And it's not. There was a perfect example that's nothing to do with like hate online towards players, which is awful and ridiculous, and I hate it. But speaking of AI, there was a video of bunnies jumping on a trampoline at night that was quote unquote caught on like Ring camera, and it got like millions and millions of views. And 2 weeks later, people are like, "Oh yeah, it's AI." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, I thought those bunnies were real.
Exactly.
But I get the point.
And nowadays, you're like, "Is that real or is that not?" And that's a scary thing in our society now because it's just starting. Imagine in 10 years, it's going to be much better, the AI. And you're really going to know, you're not going to know anything.
Again, I think the two areas that come to mind real quick. Again, youth. You're asking for trouble. Okay. The social media angle towards youth is problematic. And then when you are a true public figure, when you're Fernando Tatis Jr. and you're on Instagram, you are wide open to the hate that's being spewed that Annie Halpern shared today in the UT. And I just don't know what you can do about it. When people have phones, they're able to do that.
Turn your comments off, turn your DMs off, or at least limit your DMs to only people that you follow.
Yeah.
And then make sure you can't be posted or reposted into anything. That's, if I was a professional athlete, I would 100% do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, we will get back to the Padres, the Giants on the other side. Alan Slewa will join us coming up at 5 p.m. We will get to the wrap at 4. We've got a ticket giveaway for you coming up as well. Nelly and Ja Rule a week from yesterday at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll give those away in the 4 o'clock hour. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, AM radio keeps vital voices accessible. Congress can secure its future, but we need your help. Text AM to 52886 now to support keeping AM radio in cars. Tell your member of Congress to pass legislation now. Keep AM radio in cars. Standard message and data rate supply. Alan Sliwa will join us at 5 p.m. His thoughts on the Padres with about a month to play in the regular season and this Dodger series coming up this weekend. Plus, we will hear from Mike Schild when this game goes final. It feels to me, Jim, like the longest game ever, but it isn't. In this new pitch clock era, anything that is like a 3-hour game feels so long. But it used to be every game was 3 hours. The average time of game for the Padres used to be over 3 hours. This game still could be actually sub 3 hours, but it feels like it's just going on and on and on. They're in the top of the 8th inning. They lead right now 8-4 over the Giants, trying to win this series.
Yeah, Mike Schilt, once again, taking guys out in the middle of an inning. He loves to do that.
I have no issue with that. None. Zip, zero, zilch, less than that. Actually, I prefer it because I just think I like playing matchups. When you got this, play matchups. Don't get cute.
Yeah,
it's kind of the point.
Okay,
you disagree? I mean, it's worked.
No, I don't disagree with it.
It's worked very well for him. I mean, when I think about late inning moves with his relievers, knock on wood, I don't think it's blown up at all. I cannot even think of an example of it.
No, I'm not saying it's blown up. It's just I'm saying he loves to do it.
Yeah, I do think it's smart baseball. Today's baseball with all the bullpens. When you have a dominant bullpen with lefties and righties out there, utilize it. And also you don't need to give guys. If I throw a guy for 3 batters, I can then have him available again tomorrow. If I throw a guy for 5 batters, he might be down. So it kind of spreads it out a little bit.
If the guy finishes an inning, you don't have to put him back out there because you don't have to have the 3-batter minimum.
100%. Yeah. I'm just saying in general.
Right.
I'm saying I think the way I think it's worked out pretty well. I think it's honestly worked out.
They have the best bullpen ERA in baseball, or one of. So
yeah, and he's got all these toys. To everyone's point, that it gives you more flexibility than a lot of like some of these teams. I think you said earlier, like the Giants bullpen's terrible. So like they don't even have options. You like ride a hot hand and maybe you get 4 or 5 outs.
Please get some outs.
Yeah, where the Padres is like they almost have too many options at times. So if they can win this game, they will be one back of the Dodgers, who won earlier today against that game went final, right? You said the Dodgers won.
Yeah, it's over.
What was the final?
9-5.
Okay, so they're coming here. Blake Snell tomorrow night. Who's pitching for the Padres tomorrow?
Good question. That would be you, Darvish.
Okay, that's tomorrow at Petco. I can't wait for that. Now they need to win this game, obviously. But I cannot wait for that game tomorrow night.
And it is interesting that you got did the Cubs lose today? Cubs lost.
Yeah, we lost.
They lost 4-1. So they're still it says right here, they're 2 games up on the Padres. Padres win, they'll be a game and a half up.
So they came into the day 2.5 up?
Looks like it, because right now, unless the standings haven't updated here, Cubs are 73 and 55. Yeah. Oh no, it didn't update. So after this game, the Padres will be 1 game behind the Cubs, and they'll be 1 game behind the Dodgers. So it's like a pick your man. You're choosing which one you want to choose. You want to go to the division route, the 4-seed route. But that's the route they have to go. Win the division. Yep. If you don't win the division, you have to get the 4-seed.
So here we go again. It is deja vu all over again.
Yeah.
It is last weekend. Yeah, now last weekend they were a game up on the Dodgers. Now they're a game back. But I mean, the similarities.
So go and sweep them.
Yeah, the similarities are right there.
Flip the switch.
Yeah, like it's the exact opposite. You're right.
Yeah.
Because what the Dodgers did, they went to 2 games up. What the Padres could do, again, they need to win 3 times. It's not put the cart before the horse, but if they did that, they'd be 2 games up.
Yeah. And I'm sure all the people out there, wasn't a lot, but in our mentions on social media on Monday and Sunday night being like, it was just another series in August. The Padres swept the Dodgers this weekend.
We're not gonna be saying
those same people would not be saying it's just another series in August.
No, exactly. And that was our point. And I agree with that. And that's why I thought it was fair to react the way we did. We have to, and I agree with your general premise. You're going to have to see it on field this weekend. We can't assume anything heading in. We can't say, well, the Padres are 17-7 in their last 24. They just won a series against the Giants. They're really good at home, but we can't assume it.
No,
because it's the Dodgers. For whatever reason, the Dodgers will split series against the Rockies and sweep series against the Padres, so we can't assume it.
Yeah, that's it. You gotta take on the Dodgers straight up and beat them. And until they do that, it kind of just feels that you're going to be looking up at them until the postseason, when who knows what would happen, because you would potentially go into a series where, I mean, they're 2-8 against the Dodgers this year.
Right.
That if they lose the series this weekend, then you'd be 3-10
if you lost 2 out of 3. Even if you win 2 out of 3, you're what, 4-9?
Ugh.
And with the interesting thing, we've done the math on this. There's not really a path for the Padres and Dodgers to meet in the postseason before the NLCS. Because let me ask you this: are the Dodgers going to be the 6th seed?
No.
Are the Padres going to be the 6th seed?
No, they're 3.5 up on the Mets.
Could you envision a world where either the Padres or Dodgers are the 4 or 5? Yes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the two teams will be the 4 or 5, right? And then the winner is either the 2 or the 3, right?
Right. Now, they are 3 back on the loss column of Philly.
Okay. So right now, more targeting the 3 than the 2, but things could change. But the 1 still feels largely unattainable.
Oh,
how many loss column?
8.
Yeah, a ton of work. So my point is this: if you've got seeds 2 through 5, those teams cannot meet in the postseason until the National League Championship Series.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is all this time about beating the Dodgers, and it matters right now, but you might get into the postseason, and you know what? The Dodgers might be in the NLCS and the Padres might not. Or the Padres might be in the NLCS and the Dodgers may not.
Yeah. There's a real possibility, the way this thing is going here, that they would not meet until the NLCS. Actually, that's what's going to happen.
I think it's really the only path.
Because the Dodgers are not going to be the 1 seed.
No, they will not, nor will the Padres.
At best, they'll be the 2 seed. And then at best, the Padres would be the 4 seed. So then the 4 would play the 5, the 3 would play the 6, and then the winner of 4-5 plays the 1 seed, and the winner of 3-6 plays the 2 seed. So unless the Dodgers get nuclear red hot or the Padres get nuclear red hot and the Brewers fall off here, they won't meet each other until at the earliest the NLCS, right?
So you know the point I'm actually making? I think there's about a 90% chance as we sit here right now, they wouldn't meet in the postseason. Why do I say it? Because what are the odds both of them are still there?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's 4 other teams.
1-6 that.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like the odds would suggest that one of those 2 teams would not make it.
Right.
Is what the odds. Now, maybe it's not 9 and 10, but you get my point. You would need both the Dodgers winning and the Padres winning, potentially multiple series. But if it did happen, it would be ridiculous.
I don't know if this town could handle a 7-game NLCS against the Dodgers.
What would you? Yeah, it's like, what would you prefer?
I don't think we could handle it.
No way, man. But I'll sign up for it because it means you're in the NLCS.
100%. It would be.
Would you sign up for it over another opponent?
Yes.
You'd sign up for it over.
Yes.
And why not?
Yeah, why not?
Come this far.
Screw it. You want to beat the best, you got to beat the best.
Yeah, I mean, we've come this far.
Yeah, might as well just say, hey, you know what?
After all this, like, yeah,
give us a 7-game, and that would be incredible. That would be great for baseball.
It really would,
because of the rivalry that these 2 teams have, and it would just take that rivalry to the next level. It would remind me of like Yankees Red Sox back in the early 2000s, when the Red Sox just could not get past the Yankees, and then finally it happened in 2004 when they were down 3-0.
I'll say this: I'll take it. Just give me the 7th game here, because the 5th game last time was there.
Well, that means they have to win
that's right.
Win the division.
Give me the 7th game here.
Oh my gosh!
Can you imagine? Now we're getting way ahead of ourselves. All right, a little bit. On the other side, we'll get to the wrap. In the 4:00 hour, your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see Nelly with Ja Rule next week, actually next Wednesday. And we're going to hear from Mike Schill, hopefully within the next 30 minutes, because the Padres and Giants are in the bottom of the 8th inning.
This freaking game.
Please end this game. It's still going to be, looks like, under a 3-hour game. Hour 3 of John and Jim, that comes your way next on San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app.
This update is brought to you by RCP Block and Brick. Padres leading the Giants 8-4 in the top of the ninth inning. 1 out with Robert Suarez on the mound. The Padres close this one out here. They will remain 1 back of the Dodgers as the Dodgers beat the Rockies today in Colorado 9-5. They start a 3-game series tomorrow night here at Petco Park, where Blake Snell will be on the mound for the Dodgers against Yu Darvish for the Padres. RCP Block and Brick is your #1 source for hardscape and supplies. Their expert teams help contractors and DIYers get the job done right with the largest selection of professional grade products in town. Family owned and trusted since 1947. Start your project today with RCP Block and Brick.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3 of John and Jim. We'll give away those Nelly and Ja Rule tickets this hour, and Alan Sliwa will join us next hour at 5 p.m. We'll talk about the Padres trying to put finishing touches on the Giants down at Petco. They lead 8-4 with 2 outs in the ninth and out away from a series win over the Giants, and that means we turn our attention to the LA Dodgers, who will be here tomorrow night to play Game 1 of a 3-game series. In this hour, Jim, we're going to hear from Mike Schill as this game will go final, hopefully momentarily. And then Alan's going to join us at 5. We'll have full reaction from Padres fans coming up over the next 2 hours.
Yeah, it's right back to where we were last week.
It's so ridiculous.
The script has flipped.
Yep.
Padres now trail the Dodgers by a game. Dodgers last week trailed the Padres by a game. You also hope that script that has been flipped also carries through the weekend, where the Padres, who got swept last weekend, would hopefully sweep the Dodgers this weekend. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be incredible.
And then we're back to
that.
And then now we're looking at the Padres at 2 up in the National League West on Monday.
Less
games to go, and they start a road trip through Seattle. The Vetter Cup continues on Monday, and Minnesota.
Right.
To end the month.
So again, all eyes, of course, this weekend are going to be on this upcoming Dodger series. I would say that this 4-game series win over the Giants, assuming it happens, 2 outs, 2 strikes in the ninth, up 8-4.
It's over. It's over. Definitely over.
Okay, this game is over. Jim has told us this game is over. I would say this. The manner in which they won the last 3 days, I like. I'll explain. Offensively, 5 runs in game 2, 8 runs behind 4 home runs yesterday, 8 runs here today. They really taxed Justin Verlander in the mid innings, like in the 5th inning, and they go on to basically win this thing going away. Because earlier when we started the show, we're like, hey, they won 8-1 with all the power. And I'm like, well, I can't tell the story until I know what happens today. And today the Padres now have officially won 8-4. So the Padres have won the series. Now I want to go down the path. You know what I mean? Because I felt like if they lost today 4-0, then what does the 8-1 win mean? But they didn't lose 4-0. They won 8-4. They got offensive production. Dylan Cease was good enough. Bullpen's terrific. And here we are with the Padres and Dodgers meeting this weekend. 1 game separates them again.
But here's the thing with these last 3 games. By the way, great that they won the series after Monday night. Taking 3 of 4, doing exactly what you want to do. But they did the same thing last week. And they played maybe even better on the road against the Giants.
Right.
Then they laid an egg.
They swept them, right?
They swept them.
Yep.
And then they laid an egg against the Dodgers.
Oh, you're right. No, you're spot on.
So, like,
no guarantee.
We'll see what happens this weekend. But even the great play of the last couple days here, I'm not going to just automatically say, of course it's going to carry over to the weekend.
Right.
Because they were playing even better last week, and they sucked
last weekend against the Dodgers.
So I hope this carries over, and maybe it might, because there's no off day in between. Maybe the off day threw things off a little bit. I don't know. Right? When you win a bunch of games, you just want to keep playing every day. You don't want off days. You want, like, you're in autopilot mode, and it's win day every day. Once you have an off day, kind of almost like resets things a little bit.
Yeah, I buy that.
So there's no off day here. You go right into the Dodgers series tomorrow. No time to think about it, and boom, here we go. So maybe that helps, but again, they're gonna have to prove it, because they, so far against the Dodgers, they're 2-10 in the last 12 games against them, dating back to the postseason last year, and they looked awful playing against them.
I just have, like, to your point, I have expectations, but I don't know what to expect. Like, my expectations are they play well. I've watched this team all year. They're 17-7 in their last 24 games. They're 41-21 at home. They're 20 games over 500. So I have expectations, but I have no idea what to expect. I don't know about the health of the Dodgers again. And I see at this hour that Tanner Scott's activated tomorrow. Kirby Yates is getting activated Saturday.
Of course he is.
They've been dealing with, Ohtani got hit up by a comebacker yesterday. He didn't play today. They said it was a scheduled off day. So there's some things in there that I'm not fully aware of, but my expectations remain high for the Padres without knowing what to expect this weekend against the Dodgers. That's my position heading into Friday night. Jim, I could be convinced of anything. I could see them pile on Friday night and win going away, or I could see more of the same. I'm not going to be shocked with what I see play. I will not be shocked by anything I see this weekend.
Even if they sweep them?
I won't be I'd be surprised, but why not?
I think if the Padres took 2 or 3, I wouldn't be like shocked or surprised. I would just say, finally, okay, good. Now let's move on. Division's tied going into the stretch run in September. Here we go. They get swept. I'd be like, here we go again.
Right.
They lose 2 or 3. Here we go again.
Right.
If they swept the Dodgers, I'd be like, well, that was new and exciting. Didn't expect that. And now it makes you feel a little more confident with their chances going into the final month to win the division.
Sure.
And to also, play well into the postseason. Because their schedule is so freaking soft. It's ridiculous. Now, the Dodgers schedule is also soft too, just as soft. But you see what the Padres do against bad teams. And they play a lot of bad teams in the final month of the year.
They've been really good against bad teams.
So if they can continue to play this well against bad teams, that will definitely put the pressure on the Dodgers to also play well against bad teams. And if that were the case, if both teams play well against bad teams, then this weekend and last weekend could really mean a lot. That's why the sweep felt like it just was a kick in the groin for their chances because of both teams playing awful teams in September.
I think the fascinating thing tomorrow, in addition to, Blake Snell back here and Darvish back on the mound where he struggled his last time out, is you have a left-handed starter again for Mike Schultz to figure out a lineup against. So the second that comes out, we'll be dissecting it for 3.5 hours because they just beat up on 3 right-handed starters, right? The 8 runs today against Verlander, 8 runs yesterday, right-handed starter. 5 runs, they had plenty of opportunities the other day. They could have scored 10 runs. In the game, they won 5-1. They had 14 opportunities with runners in scoring position. Those were all right-handed starters. What are they going to do with these left-handed bats against pitchers like Blake Snell, against pitchers like Clayton Kershaw, who's not pitching in the series, but you get my point moving forward. So that to me is a fascinating part of it. I don't even know what is the storyline? Is it here we go again? Is it just Padres Dodgers? Like, I don't even know what the storyline is. It writes itself. One game separates the teams. They both have, near 72 and 56 means what? They have 34 games left. Both teams have 34 games left. It's just a massive series like last weekend, maybe even bigger because there's less games left in the year.
Yeah. And, it's at Petco Park. So hopefully they go into the series and play like they've been playing at Petco Park. And hopefully that gives them the upper hand. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the main storyline is Padres Dodgers, NL West kind of for grabs.
What else do you have to say?
Not a lot.
Unlike last time, remember last time we had 3 days to talk about it. They played a day game followed by
that's what I'm saying.
Day. Yeah, I mean you could think about it. You were sleeping on it.
I think the no off day might help. Again, Lucy pulling the football out, trying to convince myself, trying to convince myself that it's going to be better for the Padres this weekend. And I can't do that. I can't do that to myself because they have to prove it. And I'm not going to get fooled again, even though I'm trying. Hey, look, no off day. Maybe that will help. No time to think about it at home. They're one of the better teams in baseball at home. All right. Yeah. Okay. I can see. Don't do it. Don't do it until it plays out, until they prove it. Don't do it until they prove it.
I just feel like it's not just the series to me, the importance of the series. The importance to me is kind of squarely on Friday night. Because
like
again, it's the tone setter, man. It's the Lucy pulling the football away. If you go out there Friday night and you Darvish the last 2 home runs in the first 2 innings and Blake Snell shoves, that's what we'll be saying on the wrap-up show on Friday night. I will be overreacting to that if that plays out. On the other side, I think if the Padres take game 1, I might take the step back like you've been saying and say, hold on, just now go win the series. Game 1 is nice. Now find a way either Saturday or Sunday. But it's It's the same talking points from a week ago, which is, I still think this is fair. The division is there for the taking. Now it's on them to take it. And like, how could you not talk about that? How could you say, well, we've gone down this path before? I know nobody's talked about it more than you and I over the last 6 or 7 years. Nobody has. But when a team is one game back of another and the two teams are playing each other, isn't the talking point the division?
It's the division.
Like, that's the story.
Don't be that person that says, you know what?
It's not a big series.
It's not a big series.
One series in August.
We didn't expect to have them win the division anyway, so it's fine. It's okay. They're going to make the postseason anyway. That's what we were only wanting. Don't lower your expectations, people.
Right.
This team isn't. You think they're saying that outside the clubhouse?
No, I think they're saying, how many chances in life do you have another opportunity to take advantage of something? They didn't take advantage last week, and guess what? It's right there again.
They have the NL West division circled multiple times inside that clubhouse that they want to go and win. They're not on their whiteboard in there or whatever, being like
5 seed,
4 seed, 5 seed. No, you are this close. Go out and take it.
I know.
Don't lower your expectations, Padres fans. All right. I'm not saying that you can jump off the bandwagon if they don't win the division.
But the expectation should be high enough that the expectation right now is to still find a way to do it.
We'll all be disappointed now if they don't win the division, right?
I will be. I go back to I have high expectations. I just don't know what to expect.
Now, if they don't win the division and they don't get the 4 seed, then it would feel like a little bit of a letdown.
Well,
and the path would be harder,
dude. That's what I was about to say. They'd be playing to a really challenging path.
So
it's like in poker. Like you want a good hand. The good hands are obviously the buys, and then the home wild card teams. Those are the better path than doing it as a 5 or 6. Now I say that there have been 5 and 6 seeds in World Series out of the National League since this playoff format came to fruition.
And looking at the playoff seeding, I don't know why I'm going to do this right now, but I will. If you are the 4 seed, you get that home wild card series against the Cubs, most likely. If you were to win that, you would then go travel to Milwaukee. Do you want that path or the path of you win the division, you're the 3 seed, you face the Mets, then you would travel to face the Phillies in the division round?
You want to play that game right now?
I don't. I just was thinking about it and I wanted to talk about it. But I really don't want to play the game, actually.
Yeah, I'll play that game with you after this series.
Okay.
Because I'll have a better feel for where they stand. But you could make an argument either way there, probably. To be honest with you, I could make a very easy argument either way there.
I can make an argument for both, but I do have a preference.
Tell me the preference.
Milwaukee.
You think they've peaked too soon?
Yes.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people in baseball that believe that.
I would be scared to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, that lineup, we've seen it before.
Or just face the Phillies.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Cart before horse stuff.
Definitely cart before
horse. But I'm
horse.
all here for it. We have a 4-hour show. All right, we're reacting to a Padres win.
Time to talk about it.
Over the San Francisco Giants. We're going to hear from Mike Schilt coming up. His conversation with the media after the Padres win a series from the Giants. LA in town this weekend, beginning tomorrow night at Petco Park at 6:40. We've got you covered. Alan Sliwa will join us later this hour. We're giving away Nelly tickets for next Wednesday coming up this hour as well. Full reaction to a Padres series win over the Giants comes your way next on John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, we're going to hear from Mike Schilt coming up. He is speaking with the media. Padres over the Giants today down at Petco. They win it 8-4. They take the last 3 games of the series, which is impressive considering what we were saying on Monday. I mean, it was such a bizarre loss. Falling behind, and then the whole fan interference, the overturned home run, that feels like a distant memory because they still did what they needed to do. They won 3 of the 4 games.
Everyone was losing their minds over the interference.
Yes, they were, largely because of you on the internet. But to the Padres' credit, they won the series. They could have won that game Monday and not won the series.
Yeah.
It was only 1 game. So they won the next 3 games. That's all they had to do. And now it sets up for this epic showdown at Petco Park this weekend, beginning tomorrow night. Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, former teammates opposite each other. Petco Park, a real playoff atmosphere.
A real playoff
atmosphere beginning tomorrow night.
You would have loved to sweep the Giants here in the 4-game series because then you would be even with the Dodgers.
Still made up a game, though.
That's the point. You still did your job and you gained a game on the Dodgers.
Right.
You didn't go, 4 games with no changing in the standings.
Right.
So from that standpoint, it was a very successful 4-game series against the Giants.
I think so because they were playing the Rockies.
Right.
There's a world where they go 4-0,
100%,
and you go 2-2, and you lose a couple of games.
Yeah.
So that didn't play on. That's the one part of the Dodgers that has proven to be susceptible. Not their play against the Padres, their play against other teams.
And that's why it's like scary and concerning going into this weekend because the Dodgers recently, they suck against everyone else, and they're just like amazing against you.
It's insane, dude. I mean, you look at the Dodgers schedule results, and you're like, well, they've been very pedestrian for a long period of time, other than against San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know if it's going to continue or not. Are they going to be pedestrian down the stretch with what you said is one of the easiest schedules in baseball? You're right. By winning percentage, it's not just the Padres with the easy schedule. The Dodgers have the easy schedule.
They do.
But who capitalizes on it more?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to win at a good clip. Either of these 2 teams down the stretch.
Yep. And you got to watch out for those little landmines. The
random series
of an awful team taking 2 or 3 from you because you took your eye off the ball.
Right.
Not like literally, but just figuratively.
Right. Exactly.
So we'll see. But all in all, today didn't start out great. Dylan Cease, I know you said it was what was it?
A blah plus outing.
Blah plus
outing. You called
outing.
It blah. I said blah plus because the 2 runs he allowed in the second inning was a complete and utter joke. Right?
Yes.
I mean, literally a joke. Like high school Lower Merion baseball. We did that stuff. Like that does not happen in the big leagues.
Call
with
for
Fernando
it.
Tatis Jr.
Then all of a sudden the ball drops, you dive.
That doesn't happen.
Next play, you misplay a little bit in right field.
Dribbler to Cronenworth that he doesn't field properly the next play. I mean, this is college, high school.
Like, what is happening?
So 2 runs gifted to San Francisco, overcome it, take an 8-2 lead. Now, my concern with Cease was he did allow the home runs to Devers and Adames on his way out. So I'm not fully trustworthy of Cease, but again, I think it's blah plus, which I don't want to say in the postseason.
5 innings, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 6 hits.
4 runs, 2 earned?
4 runs, 4 earned.
No, that's not right. Oh, because they said that was a hit.
Yeah, they did not give Tatis an error there, which is stupid.
What does Jay Posner say?
Gave him who cares?
Jay Posner. It's the reason I'm blocked by him, though. It dates all the way back to like me arguing with him over scoring calls.
Oh my gosh.
But I mean, let's be honest
about that guy.
That ball should have been caught, but that's fine. His line is his line, and that's why he's got the 4-7, whatever.
The only error in the game from the Padres was Jake Cronenworth.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But offensively, they tax Verlander, and I don't know, man. Offense is better. I don't have the data in front of me to support it, but like, let's just look at it. They're better. Post deadline, post All-Star break, they're better. They were really bad for 2 months. Without any data, they've been much better. Offensively, right? Haven't they been much better?
They have, yeah.
8 runs, 5 runs. Like, again, not every night, but there's been more of it since the All-Star break.
Except for the Dodgers series.
Except for that, you're right. You're exactly right. That's exactly right.
Like if I'm looking here since the All-Star break, or at least since their 5-game winning streak. What was it? 5, 6. Their 6-game winning streak they had.
Mm-hmm.
Dating back to the end of July and the start of August. They put up some runs, man. 9, 7, 7, 5, 5, 7, 10, 5, 6, 4, 11.
Exactly.
This series 8, 8, 5. The only series that they really did not score a bunch of runs was that Dodgers series, 2-0-4.
Yeah. 6 combined runs.
Yeah, they've done much better. You're right, much better offensively in the second half here.
I'd love to see
I'd love to add it up to see what their run total, or at least what they're averaging per game here in the second half.
That and the indicators, like, is the slug up? Is the on base up? It's all up, right? The on base has to be up. The slug has to be up. That's the only way to score more runs.
But they're also a team that can look really good offensively, and then all of a sudden go 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position, or go a series where they score only 6 runs.
You're exactly right. We've seen that all play out in the last week.
Yeah.
2 for 14 game, the 6-run series.
Because it's great that they're doing it against the bad teams.
Yeah, but there'll be a day you need to do it against the really good teams.
Yeah, like imagine if instead of you facing the Giants and the Twins and Baltimore and Colorado, you were facing like the Cubs and the Brewers and the Phillies and the Mets.
It'd be different.
That's a gauntlet right there. But 100%, if they're doing all of the things they're doing now against the teams that I just mentioned there, that would make you feel so much different than now, right?
I mean, yes, I feel really good about the Padres with the caveat, the however, of the Dodger roadblock that they need to get over. But I feel really good about the Padres with the caveat of you got to overcome your fear sometimes. Sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do, and you're better off for doing it. Time to go beat these guys.
Yeah.
Because if not now, there's serious questions that you're not going to overcome until you get into the postseason. And those questions will hang over you and linger. Right. And you'll have to be answering to the media right? I can already predict how that plays out if they don't beat the Dodgers this weekend in this series. But maybe they will.
Maybe they will. Hopefully they will.
The beauty of sports. We're going to hear from Mike Schild. He has spoken with the media. His remarks post-game on the other side, plus your chance to win tickets to see Nelly next Wednesday at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. And Alan Sliwa, a lifelong Padre fan, he will join us coming up at 5 p.m. right here on John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
This update is brought to you by Allstate. Padres finish off the Giants today, 8-4. They took 3 of 4 from the Giants, setting up another showdown this weekend with the Dodgers. Tomorrow night starts for a 3-game series. Padres trail the Dodgers by 1 game in the National League West. Some people know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first. For a quote today, you're in good hands with Allstate.
So as luck would have it, the Padres will set an all-time sellout record this weekend against the Dodgers. They will have a 56th sellout. That will be a franchise record for a season. And Kevin Acee saying they are pacing for nearly 3.4 million fans this year, which would break last year's record of 3.31. So they're on pace for more than 3.31 million fans this year, pushing 3.4 million fans this year. They will set the sellout record in August for a season.
We might be a little biased here, but I think you would agree. Petco, I feel like Petco right now is the best, like, big game stadium as far as like the fan base goes in baseball. Like if there is a playoff game at Petco or a big game against the Dodgers, I feel like
right there.
I feel like Petco is kind of
great.
Best.
It's a great environment. It would be so subjective.
It's a subjective,
but it's right there. I'm with you. They've created an amazing home field environment.
Yeah, if they get home playoff games, I don't think there's a better ballpark.
I mean, I'll take my chances.
As far as atmosphere goes.
I'm going to take my chance. I think it helps them. Look at their record this year at home. I mean, I think it's beneficial, and that's why you want these home playoff games if you can grab them.
Petco Park is just different when it comes to like postseason play and big games against the Dodgers.
Absolutely.
It's just, yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right, Mike Schilt with the media. Padres over the Giants, Dodgers on deck. I think we're going to get an update on Jackson Merrill in here as well, but this starts with Dylan Cease, who started today for San Diego.
Really good. I mean, really good. You know, the two, you know, on the mark early were, you know, he made some good pitches. Balls fell in. Did a nice job overcoming it. I thought he really cruised through. Thought the stuff was crisp through 5. And long inning got him. I don't know, you know, the homers, but overall, really pleased with Dylan today. I thought he was outstanding.
It seemed like there have been some outings this year with him where when things have started to go wrong in an inning, it's been tough for him to get out of it or put an end to it. But today it just seemed like he was really in command even out of the stretch throughout, even though things were going on around him.
I think that's an excellent point, Scan. I think that's spot on. You know, like I said, some balls fell and he's got traffic and he just put his shoulders back and said, all right, I'm doing Cease and I'm pretty nasty. And he did a great job eliminating anything beyond that and just kept cruising.
The offensive outburst in the 5th inning, was that an example of if you do the little things, some big things can happen?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the 3rd, though, with Cronies at bat. We didn't score, and I should have written down the number of pitches he saw in that at bat, 12. But that's the bat that, and, you know, when he came in, he's frustrated because he didn't end the way he wanted to. But I thought Ruben made a good point to him as he went by. It's like, you know, you just took an inning off that guy. But whether it took an inning or not, the fact of the matter is he made the gas tank go a little more dry, and so that leads to the 4th, and then leads to the 5th, and then now we're in a better situation. And yes, to ultimately answer your question, this team's equipped to beat you in a lot of different ways, and it was on display again. You know, last night, it's on display today. You know. Middle of the field, I loved our approach with the runners in scoring position. Way better. Bogey with the sac fly. I thought that was fantastic. Just loved the way we were going about our at-bats there. And then the bunt game, it's real. You know, it's part of it. And for me, he's an excellent bunter. He's been really trained well over there. And Toddy's shown it. And today put it together with the timing, good time for it, under control, boom. You know, that's there, and then Louis follows up to move runners and we bring them in. So, you know, today was one of the games that I enjoyed the most this year out of this team because we didn't start off with our A game, and that's going to happen. You know, you're just going to have games like that. The human factor kicks in. But the championship clubs, the teams that they regroup really quickly, and so down early wasn't as pretty as we'd like, wasn't as clean as we'd like, and it was like, nah, let's kick it into gear this game, and we did, and that's what really good teams do. Really proud of the group.
Yeah, given what you just described, how important was it to be able to do that after the frustrating weekend last weekend, and considering the Dodgers are coming into town to have that kind of momentum after today?
I think it's important, regardless. Quite frankly, it's a trait that, regardless where in the schedule, that winning teams just do those things. They cover themselves in the game itself.
Like, how pleased were you with how you were able to sort of manage, or have been able to manage, your higher leverage guys? You didn't have to use them like in emergency situations, but you were able to get them some work.
Yeah, no, I mean, it helps on a lot of fronts. It helps in the sense that we have a deep bullpen. Wandy and David have contributed to that clearly as well, with the other five: Estrada, Morihone, Adams, Suarez, and Miller. No particular order, obviously. And Yuki's done his part and pitched well of late as well. But the offense, I mentioned last night, the offense being able to dictate the game and being able to take control of the game as well and be able to get leads. It sets us up to be a little more judicious. Also, we have those leads. There's a little more freedom for starters. JP was able to get through 6 last night. Really big. Takes an inning off the bullpen, gets to pass that inning around. Today we ran Dylan out for the 6, but he got through 5. Got a nice lead. Then at that point, it's 8-4. We got guys that are fresh and ready to bring it home and put them in the right lanes. And, they did their part.
Your final answer last night about being the same every day, and then what you just said here about regardless of schedule. I know how you feel about that. That said, Dodgers coming into town second weekend in a row. What is your level of anticipation here?
I think look, we're excited. I mean, listen, we're not, we are human, and we are aware of what's going on, and we are aware of, how we didn't put absolutely our best foot forward. We competed well. We just couldn't get on the good side of it. But ultimately it's about execution and playing the game. And I'm really excited and can't wait for tomorrow night. I wish it was tonight.
Oh, he wants to do the rare doubleheader against different teams. I like that. If it was tonight.
Yeah, just play another game right now.
Against the Dodgers. All right, so Schulte, did he mention in there Merrill?
He did. Way to listen.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking. What he said about Merrill per Marty from earlier was that he said the same thing yesterday. Bone bruise and an ankle sprain.
Which is kind of like a little bit of a double whammy.
Now, they haven't put him on the IL, which goes back to our point from yesterday. Well, what other options they have? Maybe just keep him active.
By the way, when in doubt, ask ChatGPT. How long
does it take?
Does it take to heal from a ankle sprain and a bone bruise in that same ankle? Here we go. ChatGPT says that a grade 1 ankle sprain, 1 to 3 weeks. Grade 2, 3 to 6. Grade 3, 8 to 12. Bone bruises are slower to heal than sprains. Typical recovery, 6 to 12. In some cases, it could take 3 to 6 months.
Hey.
When both happen together, recovery often leans towards the longer end of a timeline. Even if the ankle sprain itself heals in 4 to 6 weeks or earlier, the bone bruise can keep causing pain or swelling for a couple of months. Full healing may take 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the severity and rehab.
I mean, I'd be surprised
if
we were dealing with something like that, because then he would be on the IL. I mean, if you knew it was weeks and weeks, there's no reason to keep him active. The only reason to keep him active is twofold. A, you could get him back in 10 days or fewer. And B, you have no other options. So I get the argument they have no other options, but you don't keep a guy active if he's literally going to be out for a month.
But also, you're a week away from rosters expanding. There's nobody down in the minors that you're going to bring up, because why replace Jackson Merrill with like a Tyler Wade who's going to bring nothing to the table?
So you just keep, okay. So is there a world where he misses 6 to 12 weeks and they just keep him on the active roster the entire year?
Well, I said, what about a mild bone bruise and a mild ankle sprain? Said, good question. If both the sprain and bone bruise are mild, recovery is usually much faster. A mild ankle sprain with a bone bruise often heals in 1 to 3 weeks with proper rest and support.
Yeah, I mean, these are professional athletes. That doesn't take into account,
Says a mild bone bruise typically improves in 4 to 6 weeks, though some soreness or stiffness may linger a bit longer.
But again, like it doesn't take into account the training staffs that professional athletes have. And 22-year-old Jackson Merrill ain't 45-year-old John. So big difference in the recovery for me or you.
Yeah.
And Jackson Merrill. So what might take someone else 3 weeks, these guys want to get out there days later. Michael King had his knee drained. I wouldn't go to work for a week. He's trying to pitch a week later.
Hopefully it's like a week to a week and a half thing.
Well, if it's a week to a week and a half thing, then he might be back in a couple of days. But if it's a week to a week and a half thing, it also means he misses the Dodgers series.
My guess is he misses the Dodgers series.
Which kind of sucks.
It absolutely sucks. And there's nobody more pissed off about it than Jackson Merrill.
100%.
He's probably like sitting there ready to punch a wall.
Don't do that because we don't need
don't need a
broken hand
fist.
with a sprained wrist or whatever.
That would be awful.
All right, Alan Slee was going to join us at 5 p.m. Lifelong Padres fan. He's a friend of the show. He's been with us a dozen plus times over the years on John and Jim. He'll join us at 5 p.m. On the other side, we're going to give away a 4-pack of tickets to see Nelly with Ja Rule. We'll give those away on the other side. That's for next Wednesday at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. We'll tell you when to call, and we're reacting to the Padres winning a series over the Giants and getting ready for the Dodgers tomorrow night at Petco Park. This is John and Jim. All right, John and Jim here until 6 p.m. Alan Slewa. Swing by at 5. Kevin Acey will be on the show tomorrow. He asked the question. He looked for more on the Dodgers. I was fearful when he asked it because the one thing I do know about Mike Shildt from these last 2 series is he doesn't want to talk about the Dodgers. The way these questions are asked are like, hey, it's not about the Dodgers, but the Dodgers are coming. And he's like, well, it's not about, he wants nothing to speak on when it comes to the Dodgers, but he did mention in there, well, he's human and he understands that that's what, they all know what's on the line, but he does not like referencing them.
Man, at least he acknowledged they didn't play well.
He did say
last time they faced him.
He did say that.
You know, an admission of poor play from Mike Shildt, that's going to be a very rare thing to find from him.
True.
He will never go down that path.
True.
Even if the team stinks, he'll find a positive. He'll be like, man, that 7th inning by Ron Marinaccio was great.
He mentioned every reliever on the active roster other than him.
That's uncharacteristic of Mike Shildt. Mike Shildt will mention everybody.
To your point from FanFest, when he literally mentioned everyone before the season or spring training even started.
If you're not mentioned by Mike Shildt, that's a problem because he mentions every single player.
You might not make it to
the next game. Like, man, Ron Marinaccio down in the bullpen. He's done great for us when he's come in the game. It's like, Mike, he's got 1 inning under his belt. That 1 inning was amazing, though.
It's so true.
Did you see that 1 inning he threw? Oh, stuff looked crisp, good. Like his life on his fastball.
Maybe what Mike said speaks to your point. He said that he wishes they could play the Dodgers tonight.
It does. It feels like the Padres, knowing that they played awful last weekend, are kind of, itching to redeem themselves a little bit here, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a good thing that there is no off day to kind of sit on it, to think about it, that they're just playing right away tomorrow night. Going right from this series, right into that series. Hopefully they meet the challenge. Hopefully they know, and there's nobody that will tell them this because they know it. They sucked last weekend. They looked awful. Can Manny actually come up big against the Dodgers? Because this year and dating back to the postseason, he's been flat out awful against them. So can the starting pitching do better? Can they actually, give them some length, right? Can they hit with runners in scoring position? Can Fernando Tatis Jr. continue his good play against the Dodgers? Like, there's a lot of things that, I'm sure they're thinking about going into this series, and hopefully some of those things change. Maybe not all of them will change. And the only thing that matters is the number of runs you put on the board and the number of runs the Dodgers put on the board. And hopefully you pick up a couple wins here against the Dodgers.
I just feel like tomorrow, specifically for you, Darvish, is really consequential because he's proven to be a question mark, and truthfully, he's been more than a question mark. Like, he hasn't been reliable. He's got a 6 ERA, maybe 5.97. And the last time we saw him, it was at Dodger Stadium. He had 2 first-inning home runs. He really didn't give his team much of a chance, even though they rallied in that game. It was 4-0 in the first inning. Now, part of that story was after that. It's like, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, that was the play. After that, he pitched well. But you can't well, in a tough first inning. No, you can't have an inning like that. And I feel like with you, Darvish, this year, I've been waiting for those moments. Like, he's had a lot of those blow-up innings where he's been so hittable. Now, he's had a good start or 2 in there. He's put together a couple of really good starts. Can he do it against a really good team like LA tomorrow at Petco Park? And I hope he's able to do it. I don't want to come out of that game tomorrow with more questions about you, Darvish. I really don't, because I feel like he's important. Proved it last year in the postseason. You want to be able to rely on him in the postseason. But can you if he doesn't pitch well tomorrow night?
He's made 8 starts this year. He's only had 2 good starts.
Okay, so 6 have been ineffective.
They've been very ineffective.
Right?
Like, they have to be much better. And I agree. It's the same. It's like, oh, Nestor Cortez on Monday night pitched actually really well for us.
He would like 3 home runs.
He gave a 4 in the first.
Right.
Like, that counts.
Yep.
It goes on the scoreboard right there. They're not going to take away runs and be like, you know what? He pitched great the next 5 innings.
Right.
And granted, it's important to bounce back after moments like that to keep your team in games. But still, you have to look at the totality of your start. And even if you gave up 5 in the first, but then you went and mowed down the lineup through the next 4 innings to give them 5 innings, like, still looked awful in the first inning.
The other thing at Darvish, we've talked about it. You have in front of you. What's the max number of pitches he's thrown in those 8 starts?
The max number of pitches is 84.
So he still hasn't. You use the L word, length. I don't know if it's an L word.
It's an L word.
He's a guy that throughout even his late career is a guy that can throw 100 pitches. I mean, we know that. I saw it last year, I think, in the postseason against LA. Now he's not given the opportunity to throw 90 as of yet. Maybe it's a product of circumstance, the way he's pitched. But you kind of feel like maybe at some point you need to ramp up Darvish if he's going to be one of these pieces you're turning to in the postseason. Maybe not. I mean, maybe you get to the postseason and you got to lead behind you, Darvish, after 4 innings. You're going to your bullpen. That's a possibility. I just would say this. The rules on Darvish have changed during his time in a Padres uniform, specifically this year. They've been very cautious with his usage because clearly he hasn't been 100%.
The last time that Yu Darvish pitched more than 90 pitches in a start was May 19th of last year.
Are you looking at the postseason?
Even in the postseason.
He hasn't thrown more than 90 pitches since May 19th of last year.
Correct.
Are you sure?
I am very sure.
Like you're using your brain?
Like I'm using my phone and I'm looking directly at the numbers.
And he hasn't thrown 90 pitches since May of last year.
Correct.
He was hurt at times, right? Last year. I'm just trying to think how many starts that is from last year.
Well, here's the thing. He threw 99 pitches on May 19th. Then he made 2 more starts after that. And his last start was on May 29th, where he only went 3 innings, 66 pitches.
Right.
And then he didn't pitch again until September 4th.
Right. Exactly. So he didn't make that many starts.
He made correct. But
7 after May, whatever the day you said.
29th.
Oh, after May 29th?
Yeah.
He only made 5 starts.
And he made 2 in the postseason.
Okay, I don't have those in
And he's made 8 this year.
So that's 15 combined starts. He hasn't thrown 90 pitches in his last 15 starts.
The most pitches he's thrown is 87.
Wow. Did he not go in the game 5? Did he go 7 innings?
He did go 7 innings.
And he threw 87 pitches?
He threw 77 pitches.
In 7 innings?
Yeah. He was dominant.
Wow. That's amazing. I don't recall it going that way, but wow, I didn't realize.
His postseason last year, this is all against the Dodgers. 13 and 2/3 innings, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, 3 earned runs allowed, 6 hits. He had a 1.98 ERA against the Dodgers. He threw 82 pitches in his first start, 77 pitches in his next start.
More of that. See, because last time we saw against the Dodgers, 4 runs in the first.
Mm-hmm.
Last year in the postseason, sub 2 ERA.
And I don't care about number of pitches. If he's going out there throwing 7 innings and no earned runs and he throws 72 pitches, like that's great.
Well, yeah, it's just hard to do.
It's very hard to do. But it is interesting, just like I'm just mentioning in it that he hasn't thrown more than 90 pitches.
That's crazy.
Since last May.
That's shocking to me. Did he throw 100 pitches at any point last year?
He did.
Okay.
In May, he did. He actually, let me look this up. He threw 101 pitches on May 12th. His next start was 99 pitches, and that was it. He went everything below 90 after that.
Well, keep him healthy. And like you said, I mean, maximize his pitches. If it's 80 pitches, maximize them. And you've got the bullpen where he doesn't have to go 7 innings.
He threw 90 pitches 3 times last year. 1 in April, 2 in May, and that was it.
All right, Alan Slee was going to join us on the other side. His thoughts on where these two teams stand heading into this critical weekend series between the Padres and the Dodgers. It is deja vu all over again. First place literally on the line tomorrow at Petco Park. Yes, the Dodgers have a tiebreaker, but first place is on the line. Dodgers will enter this 3-game set, 1 game ahead of San Diego in the NL West. So again, Alan Sliwa will join us on the other side. We have these Nelly tickets we're giving away right now. Caller 3, they are yours. 877-767-4760. A 4-pack of tickets to see Nelly with Ja Rule next Wednesday, August 27th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Caller 3, they are yours. 877-767-4760. Alan Sliwa will join us on the other side. Hour 4 of John and Jim on San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app is next.
This update's brought to you by the Jim Petrell real estate team. Padres beat the Giants today 8-4, taking 3 of 4 in the series. Now sets up a showdown tomorrow night with the Dodgers. Dodgers lead the National League West by 1 game. Tomorrow night, 6:40 will be first pitch with Yu Darvish on the mound against Blake Snell. Upside down on your home, but you need to sell it. Jim Petrell knows how to sell your home, wipe away your debt, and it won't cost you a dime. Go to jimcanhelp.com, wipe away the debt, no cost to you. Go to jimcanhelp.com, DRE 015-4905.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's John and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Final hour of John and Jim reacting to a series win over the Giants and looking ahead to tomorrow night, the first of 3 once again between the Padres and the Dodgers. Always great to connect with Alan Sliwa, the Sliwa Show on YouTube. Lifelong Padres fan. He has covered this rivalry from all the different angles over the years. Alan, we appreciate you hopping on once again. Here we go again, right? I mean, how do you see it this time around? The Padres and Dodgers again will meet, separated by 1 game in the standings. What's your level of optimism, or is it cautious heading into this upcoming weekend?
Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I think it's always, I mean, at this point of the year, just seeing how the Padres have matched up against the Dodgers, obviously so deflating last weekend in LA, losing all 3. It's just, you can't walk in, I think, to a matchup against the Dodgers feeling really good about anything. Now, go win a game on Friday. I do agree, John, that it kind of sets the tone of what does it mean for the rest of the weekend. I mean, I have a difficult time saying, hey, take 2 or 3. I have a difficult time saying, you can walk away from this series tied with the Dodgers in the division. Like, it's so tough to think about what Monday holds. Just, can you win a game against the Dodgers? Can you just take one on Friday? Can you, by the time you get to Sunday, put yourself in a position where you got a shot to win the series against them? So, I mean, optimistic, I don't know how you can be optimistic about it, to be honest with you. And I don't want to make it sound like I've tried, which I don't do a very good job of this, of not making a big deal about Dodgers and the Padres. It's really difficult to do. But what are the Dodgers now? 8-2, I want to say. It's either 8-2 or 7-3, whatever it is. But they've obviously clearly dominated the Padres through the first 10 games. You got to see something to make you feel good about something, and we just haven't seen that yet this year.
Manny Machado, he's not played well against the Dodgers this year or in the postseason last year. I'm not going to say it's the end-all, be-all if he doesn't have a good series again against the Dodgers this weekend, but at some point you'd like to see Manny show up, have a pretty big series against the Dodgers, right? I feel like this weekend, hey, you're not going to have a chance to play them again until probably the NLCS with how things are shaping out if neither of those teams get a 2 seed. I mean, this kind of feels like, is this got to be a big series for Manny here?
Well, it was a good, at least these last few days, you feel a little bit better about Manny than what he's been over the course of the last 30 days, you want to call it. But you need your big boys to deliver. It's interesting. The first 2 games, I want to say, Dodgers and the Padres over the weekend, I want to say, and I'm trying to think off the top of my head, but Shohei, Freddie Freeman, Mookie really didn't do all that much in those first 2 games. And it's kind of like, well, they're going to eventually, the big boys are going to eventually come through, and they came through on Sunday. Freeman hits the 2-run homer, obviously, or a 3-run homer. Mookie did what he did. You need the same thing from your guys with the Padres. And I think the Manny piece of it is big. The one thing that I just, you're at Dodger Stadium, and obviously, the reaction that Dodger fans have towards Manny. Does that get into his head a little bit? You're here in San Diego, and it's not just a Manny thing, but everybody feels a little bit of, there is a little added pressure. And are you trying to do too much? I think maybe in life it's like, well, if I just try harder, I don't know how much that would help any of these players from a baseball perspective. It almost seems like in baseball, the harder you try to, the more you're pressing, the more it's going to hurt you. But yeah, I mean, listen, man, you got so many guys since the trade deadline that have done such a great job, but I still kind of go back to the same thing. It's like your guys that are getting paid the most money and are asked to be your franchise players. If they don't come through for you, you're going to have problems. You're going to have issues. And I think Manny's no different than some of these other players on the team that obviously they need to come through.
Alan Slewa with us. I think it's a really good point on, just these big pieces to the puzzle. I mean, how do you win without the big pieces contributing specifically in the postseason? You mentioned the deadline additions. I think we had you on actually the day after the deadline. What has been your reaction to putting this puzzle, so to speak, together, and how some of these pieces like Ramon Laureano, Ryan O'Hearn, Freddie Fermin, Mason Miller, how they fit into the overall body of work?
I think my, mentality with the Padres before the deadline, there was a lot of just get to the playoffs. Anything can happen. Maybe you can go on one of those runs like the Nationals did or Diamondbacks get into the World Series, but you don't want to depend on that. I think after the trade deadline, and I think as we sit here today, it's like, no, offense is clearly better. The lineup is much deeper. You feel much more confident about guys at the bottom of the order than you ever did. Even guys like Gavin Sheets. Okay, maybe he's not going to get as many at-bats, but now when he does get in the lineup, he's still a little bit dangerous. Or Iglesias can be dangerous, but they're not dependent on a day in, day out basis. So the team is clearly better. And I agree with you guys. I was listening to you guys, not just today, but just in general. I do agree that there are expectations now, especially just how close you are to potentially winning the division or just being in the mix here the final 30 days or so. The expectations are different now. I think if whatever your expectations were before the season started and where, Padre fans sit today, I think it's different for everybody. Obviously, Preller went all in. You can't go any more all in than he did. So now you have, expectations that come with it. And these next 3 days aren't going to determine the world, but it would be nice to get a little bit of momentum against the team that has clearly been the class of baseball for a handful of years.
Alan, what's the, biggest concern that you have with this Padres team in the remaining 30-ish games leading into the postseason?
Yeah, I don't think it's talked about enough. Or maybe it is. Maybe I don't feel like it's talked about enough. Starting pitching scares me. I think the starters. I'm not sure what any of these guys. I mean, Pavetta's been phenomenal all year long. Give him a ton of credit. But do you know what a Dylan Cease outing is going to be on a night in, night out series, or every time that he gets the ball? Do you know what? I just was listening to you guys talking a little bit about Darvish and in his 8 starts so far this year, and 2 of them you could say were good, and the other 6 just not getting the job done. My concern is the starting pitching, and you've heard Schill talk a lot about how you just don't want to use. Obviously he wants to be very strategic with the bullpen. It is probably the class of all baseball when it comes to a bullpen, but you still need starters to shove, and you still need guys to give you some good innings. So how much are you going to rely on JP Sears? How much are you going to rely on some of these other arms? To me, the starting pitching is, I understand why they did what they did at the trade deadline, but they also, gave up some arms that were dependable for them that could have got them through the rest of the regular season. And I think to me, that's what worries me.
Alan Slewa with us right now on John and Jim. I'm just curious, Alan, coming off last year, right? The disappointment in the postseason. Did you expect the Padres to be in this exact, they almost, you could argue, I guess, are better position than they were a year ago at this time, because the Dodgers have come back to earth, so to speak. Last year, Dodgers still won that division by 5 or 6 games. I think they won 98 games. It'll be very hard for them to win 98. So I guess the question is, are you surprised that the Padres, just a year after the disappointment, might arguably be better positioned than they were when they appeared to be pretty darn well positioned last year?
Yeah, I am surprised. I think, for all San Diegans, you know how many cracks you're going to get at this, and you don't know. I know the baseball's different than when it was, growing up, and obviously they make it to the World Series in '98, and just the way the baseball landscape is, it's completely different. So in today's game, you got a shot, which I think is smart from Major League Baseball to just give so many more cities an opportunity to have some hope going into September. But I think for a few reasons, I wasn't coming into the season. There was this, I just didn't have a great feeling about it. I really thought just by getting into one of those wild card spots, you would feel like, hey, Preller, the crew, here they are again. They're showing their face again. It would be 4 out of 6 years that they make the playoffs. I am surprised at the position they're in, but listen, they've also, and this isn't a conversation of don't give up the farm, because I do think what they're doing, and I think San Diego's repaying them by saying, give us a product that we can be proud of. And we'll come out here and support. I think I saw the numbers you guys were mentioning about potentially 3.4 million at I think by the end of the season, whatever the case is. But they did give up the farm. So the expectations do change because you've given up your future in order to contend today. And I don't think there's many San Diegans that go against that theory. But because they did, the expectations changed as we sit here today. There is no, I think just looking at their positioning now, if they don't win the division, there will be some disappointment. If they do end up the 5th seed and they're on the road in a wild card, there would be some disappointment. Now, what you do in the postseason is more important, but I think they've at least put themselves in a position where they can do some real damage between now and the end of the regular season and give themselves a shot.
What do you make of Fernando Tatis Jr.'s season?
I think it's safe to say we all want to see, and I've heard people kind of mix this. It's like, yeah, he doesn't have the power, but, he's still hitting the ball hard. I think of Tatis 3-4 years ago, and I think of how basically San Diego is like, we got our guy. We got the face of this city in Fernando Tatis Jr. And I think there are times, he's really, really effective in a game. And it's because of a stolen base. It's because his play in right field. It's because he's able to maybe stretch from first to third just by sheer instincts. And that single, he sees it fall and he gets to third base and Padres end up scoring a run. It could change kind of the complexion of a game. But, there's also a piece of Tatis where, again, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Manny side of things. And I'm not saying that the Padres aren't going to win a World Series because Manny and Fernando are the only two guys delivering. But I think the Padres can win a World Series if Manny and Fernando are delivering with everything else that they have and everything else that Preller has built. So I think that's kind of a roundabout answer that I almost put Machado and Tatis sometimes in kind of like the same category. You're the faces of the franchise. You're supposed to deliver. And hopefully, we're sitting back and the conversation is less about those two because they are delivering. And, he's had clearly an up and down season. The drought he has from a home run perspective, that's not good. Being 29th in Major League Baseball in home runs, that's not good. So you do need those two guys. And I think they kind of both sometimes fall in the same category, whether that's fair or not.
Great perspective, Alan. We always appreciate you taking time for us. We're looking forward to this weekend and really these final 30-something games of the regular season and the postseason as well. Appreciate you doing it, Alan. Hope you're doing well, and we will do it again soon, all right?
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Alan Sliwa with the Sliwa Show again. Diehard Padres fan. We're going to hear from Toddy on the other side. Fernando Tatis Jr. in the clubhouse. Some thoughts on this upcoming series. We'll hear from Fernando Tatis Jr. coming up next. We're here until 6 p.m. Jim's back page ahead later this hour as well. This is John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, John and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. SDFC back Saturday night. They're going to take on Portland at Snapdragon Stadium. Hear the match live Saturday night, beginning at 7, right here on San Diego Sports 760, your home for SDFC. Momentarily, we'll hear from Fernando Tatis Jr., who sounds tired, and he probably should be. I mean, he's been playing every day. It's a lot going on. If I'm tired, he should be tired.
Right. We don't do anything.
And and I'm tired.
Like, I'm dead tired.
I get it. You're playing an afternoon game.
After a night
find
game.
ways. You know, he had the issues in right today. He made a ridiculous play in right yesterday. I get being tired.
Yeah, the grind of a baseball season. It's difficult, man. It is difficult. Like,
Crazy.
if you cover the sport like we do, and especially if you're like Kevin or Dennis or AJ and you travel and you are covering this team every single day. And,
a lot.
and everybody that covers the sport on a day in day out basis, like, it's a grind. Imagine what it's like for the players.
Yeah, who have to perform
and have lives and all this other stuff.
There's a lot to it. So this is interesting. Just about a minute. Fernando Tatis Jr. post game. Listen to him.
Mike Schultz said he was ready to go ahead and play the Dodgers right now, this afternoon. How amped are you for this upcoming series?
Well, I need to go to sleep first before I've been dragging a little bit. Yeah, we're just ready.
Is that the difference between manager and player? Is that the manager's ready to go now?
Yeah. I want to see you running like that too. I've been saying the same stuff. But I know everybody knows his attitude, and he's a front line, so it's always good to have a guy like that leading the line.
You tell him to settle down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, chill out, bro. That's what Tatis is saying.
Dude, can I just get home? Can I rest? Can I sleep? There's no rest really, because come tomorrow, it just starts all over again. It's just more on the line, arguably tomorrow.
Again, off days are like everything in baseball. When there's an off day, players circle that.
It's like a vacation.
Oh my gosh. Especially if you play a day game followed by an off day. It's like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. Yep.
But I also will argue that it's probably a better thing to not have an off day before you play the Dodgers, because you're not sitting on it, you're not thinking about it, and you're not hyping this thing up.
Yeah. And
you're just going right in and you're playing baseball. Because she'll love the line of, it's just another series, just another series.
You're right.
But it's only another series if you don't think about it like that.
And they'll have enough rest, I would say, down the stretch. For example, they've got one next Thursday, so this time next week, and then they have 3 off days in September. It's not a huge number, but remember, the season ends September 28th this year, so they'll have 3 off days in September. They should have enough rest. The one thing I would say about the Padres down the stretch as well, they might be playing for a division, but you'd like to think they'll put themselves in firm playoff position where not everything is going to be a complete and utter grind each and every night. I say that, but it could be, because the division is going to be on the line. But they still have 4 off days remaining in their year. Rest will come when the season's over.
Yeah, everyone can rest when you're dead.
That's what, exactly. Like right now you got to go, man.
Like, go.
It's time to go. So yeah, we'll see. Again, there's going to be, I felt like last weekend, the fever pitch was at like an all-time regular season high. Like, it was, Padres were in first place. Mm-hmm. Our wrap-up shows were like through the roof in terms of engagement. And I do feel like people feel like you now. It's like you're kind of dipping your toe in now. I felt like everyone was all in then. They were in first place.
Right.
And now it's like, well, they could be in first place, but it just feels to me like there is, I think you used the term cautious optimism. I do think there's a level of cautiousness surrounding some of this fan base heading into this weekend as opposed to heading into last weekend.
Yeah, I don't feel the same way I do as I did last weekend.
We were so like amped.
Because I'm just expecting like them to not play well again against the Dodgers. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope they prove me wrong, and I hope they go out there and they play good baseball, but I need to see it to believe it against the Dodgers. Because for the last year here, I've thought that, all right, Padres, Dodgers, let's go. And every time, last 12 games, 10 of the 12, they've fallen on their face. And they've been looked, they're the little brother. Dave Roberts has the upper hand. Dodgers have the upper hand. They've been punked. Can that change this weekend? I think it starts with just one, they need better starting pitching. Two, they need to play clean fundamental baseball. And three, you need your stars to show up.
Those would all be nice. I like that.
Because none of that happened last weekend.
No, I agree with your points are valid, which is like, to this point, there's no reason to believe it's going to happen until it does. There's no reason to expect it to happen, but we do know this about sports. Things are constantly changing.
Yeah,
the one constant is change.
A week can change things. A series can change things. A day could change things.
Both ways. Dodgers will add pieces or have more production or less production. Padres add pieces, have more or less production. So both ways. I mean, it sounds like the Padres might be without Jackson Merrill heading into the series. I mean, they haven't seen him since Sunday, so they could be without Jackson Merrill. The Dodgers might be without some pieces, but it's all going to be, I know this, it's going to be overanalyzed beginning tomorrow night by ourselves. So I'm going to speak tonight, Jim.
Don't you speak every night? Like when you get home to your wife?
I do speak, but I'm speaking at a San Diego State football event on the Midway.
Oh, so what are you trying to say right now?
I'm saying I'm bailing on you.
Wow.
But you're fine.
I don't know if I can cover 30 minutes.
Do you want to switch? You speak on the Midway. I'll do the next 30 minutes.
Okay.
What are you going to talk about?
What do you want me to talk about?
Well, what questions do you have for like Trey White in our Q&A?
Oh, you have a Q&A tonight with Trey White?
Yeah, but if you're going to do it, that's easy. We've done the Trey White interview a lot.
Yeah, it's easy. What do you got for Trey White tonight?
I don't know. I have it written down.
Give me one question.
For Trey?
Yeah. What do you got?
I'll tell you tomorrow.
Do you like football?
No, I got stuff. But looking forward. I mean, the USS Midway Museum, we were there for an event.
Yeah.
4 years ago, we were named Best Sports Talk Radio Show in San Diego, even though we hadn't been doing the show for a year.
And they never invited us back
ever since then. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it should be a very nice night. I think it's warm out. So looking forward to that. Jim's going to have the rest of the show. I'm just going to hand you the baton. What are you going to talk about? The Midway?
Yeah. I'm
the history?
I'm talking about the history of the Midway Museum.
Or are you going to talk about the Padres?
I'm going to Google it and I'm going to read off of
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT it. The entire segment will be based on what ChatGPT says.
What do you currently know about the Midway?
That it's in San Diego.
Correct. It is.
It's called the USS Midway.
And it's iconic.
It is iconic.
Had you ever been on it before 3 years ago?
No, that's actually the first time I ever was on it.
It's spectacular.
It's like, whoa, I'm on a
aircraft carrier
ship right now.
That's
weird.
Absolutely spectacular. All right, John and Jim, more reaction to a series win over the Giants. Looking ahead to the Dodgers this weekend at Petco Park. This is San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by SDG&E. Padres beating the Giants today 8-4, taking 3 of the 4 game series in at Petco Park. Tomorrow night, Padres and Dodgers start a 3-game series with the Dodgers leading the National League West by 1 game. Darvish will be on the mound against Blake Snell for the Dodgers in peak wildfire season. As a last resort, SDG&E may need to shut off power in specific areas for public safety. Learn more about public safety power shutoffs at sdgne.com/PSPS. All right, John has bailed on the show, so me and Brent are going to take this one home here, leading you up to 6 o'clock. And back page coming up next segment here. So Jackson Merrill sounds like he's going to miss the weekend series here against the Dodgers. Bone bruise, ankle sprain. Both of them individually aren't great, but when you combine them, feels like you're going to miss some time. They have not put him on the IL yet, which I understand. Because if you put him on the IL and you bring up somebody else, you're just putting that guy at the end of the bench. He's not going to play anyway. You know, we're close to September. Rosters will expand here in 10 days, 9 days. So putting him on the IL, I understand why they're not doing it, trying to wait out as long as possible. And then if they have to do it, then it will have to be probably 10 more days because I think they've gone past the retroactive date for an IL stint. But Jackson Merrill, he did speak to the media post-game. This is what he had to say to the media about his injury.
I'm just getting there slowly, but just gotta wait, be patient. I don't got anything for you guys on it or anything right now.
What have you been able to do so far as far as expectativity of running?
I've just been, taking the days on the downside and trying to get to reset. That's pretty much it.
Are you more optimistic than you were just a couple of days ago when we first talked to you?
Yeah, spirits are better. More optimistic for sure. Less frustrated, but still getting there, so we'll see.
Do you think there's any possibility that you can play in this coming weekend versus the Dodgers, or you don't know yet?
Yeah, I'd love to. That's all I got is I'd love to.
From what the doctors have told you, is it a structural thing you have to give rest to, or just a pain tolerance thing?
It's more on their side to say. I don't really completely understand it myself. They've done a good job of explaining it, but I'm still kind of just feeling it out, see how it is.
To not be able to out there, watch your guys go out there and continue to win, take three in a row from the Giants. I'm sure it's frustrating not to be with them, but how proud are you of the guys that are picking up where you left off?
That's what I expect. I don't expect anything different from our guys. They play their asses off, and we're going to keep playing our ass off.
What do you expect the intensity to be like this weekend?
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be good baseball, and we're excited. Kind of just take it to them. Play our game.
Schilt said he expects the stadium to be rocking with fans and everything. Do you feel like this is one of the greatest ballparks out there?
Yeah, of course. It's always rocking though, and every day. So just get to appreciate it and watch. Fans have been incredible.
Jackson, how do you deal with the frustration of not being able to play, but also at the same time trying to stay locked in with your recovery?
Yeah, I don't hate being on the downside. It's fun to watch my guys play and see it from a different angle sometimes, but I'd much rather see it from center field and in the dugout getting ready to hit.
Bro, he hates it. he absolutely hates not playing.
It was almost like a cruel line of questioning, especially if you're watching the video, because you know how badly he wants to be out there. And then they're just like, hey, this is going to be the greatest series in the history of baseball, isn't it? Aren't you disappointed you can't play? Yeah, it sucks that I can't play. It's like all of their questions are all about, man, aren't you disappointed you're going to miss out on this weekend? And yeah, obviously I'm going to miss out. And it's just sounded almost cruel.
He's young. Maybe he heals fast. I don't know about this type of injury, but it sounds like that he's not returning anytime soon. Your guess is as best as my guess to when he will return to the field, but just listening and trying to read between the lines, because they're never going to tell the media or the fans anything about injuries.
And they shouldn't.
They shouldn't. I get it. But you have to just listen to tones, listen to keywords, right? And listening to them talk about Jackson Merrill's injury, well, it didn't look awful. Like, it didn't look like the worst thing in the world, but ankles are tricky, man. If you just twist it the wrong way, that could be a 2-3 week injury. And when he twisted his ankle in LA and then he went back out and played the next day, that also might have made the injury even worse. Because it didn't seem like he looked anywhere close to being right. His swing in the outfield, like he was completely off. And so it's a bummer that he probably will miss this series this weekend. You look at his year overall, it's not like he's lighting the world on fire. So you're not missing, some crazy season from Jackson Merrill in this lineup. You do miss Jackson Merrill, but I mean, let's be real. They didn't have Jackson Merrill in this series, and did their offense skip a beat? I mean, they actually were really good this series offensively, other than Monday night when they only could put up 3 runs on the board. But 8 runs today, 8 runs yesterday, 5 runs on Tuesday night. I don't think that this team was missing Jackson Merrill this series, but I think in the long run, you could miss Jackson Merrill. Jackson Merrill is just a guy that you want out there every day because of the energy, the intensity that he brings, but he is having a down year. There's no denying that. He is not having the best of seasons for this Padres team. And going forward, you've kind of been saying to yourself, all right, Jackson's going to heat up. He's going to heat up. He's going to heat up. He kind of just hasn't yet. And that part of it has to do, I think, with the stop, start that he's had this season. He's been snake bit by injuries. The concussion, that had nothing to do with him. Nothing. The hammy, that's obviously on him. His body gave out on him, and it's not good. He missed, instead of missing a couple days, like Mike Schultz said, he missed a month. The concussion took a little longer than expected. So my guess is this ankle is probably going to take a little longer than expected. And that's unfortunate. But the good thing is the moves that AJ made at the deadline, you're not sitting there being like, oh my gosh, what are they going to do without Jackson Merrill? Because they got Ramon Laureano to put him in his place. They got Gavin Sheets. They have Ryan O'Hearn. They have pieces that can replace the loss of Jackson Merrill. But you're going to need Jackson Merrill to be healthy. And for him to get healthy, probably is going to take about a week or so, maybe longer. Who knows? I have no clue. No idea on this. Ankles are tricky because it's all about how your body reacts and how your body heals to an ankle injury.
Well, the ankle itself would have been iffy for like a week or two, but then you throw in the bone bruise, and bone bruise that's like one of those things like turf toe, to where it could be 3 days, it could be 3 weeks. You don't really know. You just kind of got to wait, and one of these mornings he's just going to wake up and go, hey, it doesn't hurt anymore, and that's when they're going to know he's ready to go. But he might not. It might be in great pain tonight, and then he'll wake up tomorrow and it's fine, but he's not going to know until it happens. It's one of those things.
So the pitching matchups, or at least the starting pitching matchups on the Padres side of things, have been announced for this upcoming weekend. Tomorrow night, we all know it's Yu Darvish.
Pivetta all 3 games.
Yeah.
Pivetta 3 innings in the bullpen.
Saturday, Nestor Cortez. That should be interesting against the Dodgers. And then Sunday, Nick Pivetta. So we'll see. Dodgers, they got Blake Snell tomorrow night, Tyler Glasnow on Saturday, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto on Sunday. Advantage Dodgers from a starting pitching standpoint for sure. So we'll see. To me, the starting pitching has to be much, much, much better. But also the offense last weekend, that was a problem as well. It wasn't like the starting pitching was all the blame. The offense didn't do their part. Manny didn't show up. Tatis didn't show up. Cronenworth didn't show up. Xander didn't show up. The whole team didn't show up other than Ramon Laureano. That's, from an offensive standpoint, that's what happened last weekend. So you're going to need those players to step up. If you're going to have Nestor Cortez out there, you're going to need your offense to score some runs. And hopefully this weekend, Manny Machado does not go 1 for 12. Hopefully Jake Cronenworth doesn't go 0 for. Same thing with Xander, right? You need these guys to produce, and they're going to have to be much better this upcoming weekend, especially the big bats. We talk about it nonstop. If your big bats aren't going to perform, that's going to be a very difficult situation for you to pick up a bunch of wins. And going up against the Dodgers have done a really good job neutralizing the Padres' big bats this year. Manny had, remember that 11-1 game, Brent, when they won 11-1 and Dave Roberts punted in like the 6th inning?
Yes.
Manny had 5 RBIs that night.
He threw Kiki on the mound.
Yeah. Manny had 5 RBIs that night against the Dodgers. Since then, he's got 1. That was, I think, what, it's like 8-9 games ago. And then he went 1 for 12 this past weekend. He knows he's got to be better. He knows he has to be better. They all know this is a big series. Mike Schultz fired up. Tatis is like, calm down, bro. Calm down. But they know they have to be much better. And I can't wait to see what happens because I'm just as curious as you all are out there about how the Padres are going to play against the Dodgers this weekend. Because there's not much optimism that, of course, they're going to play well. Because you kind of are going into the series like, here we go again. We hope they play better, but we'll see what happens. And if they lose tomorrow night, especially, then, of course, the wheels are going to start spinning in everyone's heads like, they just can't beat these guys. So that's why tomorrow it's a big game tomorrow. It's a tone setter for the series. Go out and win tomorrow night. Go beat Blake Snell, who's been really good since his return. If you go do that, then look, the rest of the weekend, you feel confident, like, oh, okay, they can beat these guys. Take one of the next 2, take 2 or 3, then you're tied in the division come Monday. And that's what you want.
Sometimes when you feel like you have no chance, that's when you win. Like there's been plenty of times when like it's been like Bears Packers weekend and it's just like, dude, we're going to get crushed by like 60 points. We have no shot.
You don't even care.
And I have no faith. I'm just like, yeah, just get this 3 hours over with and it's just done. Let's get our ass kicking done and go home. And then we'll win. All of a sudden we'll win. And it's just like, when you don't expect it, that's when it happens.
That goes to the line of thinking of like the pressure that this team faces so far the last year and back to the postseason. They have not dealt with that pressure well against the Dodgers. In fact, they've dealt with it horribly. And so we'll see what happens this upcoming weekend with the Dodgers coming to town tomorrow night. It is going to be a crazy, crazy atmosphere at Petco Park. That I can tell you. It's going to be wild. All right, coming up next, we'll wrap up the show with my back page. Stay with us right here on San Diego Sports 760 on John and Jim, and listen right now on the iHeartRadio app. All right, John and Jim. John is gone. He's on his way to the Midway right now. So we'll be back tomorrow. Full show. Kevin Acey is going to join us, getting you ready for Padres Dodgers. It's all we're going to be talking about. It's going to be wild tomorrow. Petco Park will be crazy. I'm kind of concerned because I think it might be it's going to be like Park in the Park or Beer in the Park. I forget what it's called. I'm drawing a blank right now, but
the $5 beer thing.
Yeah, I think tomorrow could be crazy. Yeah, it could be crazy, but can't wait for the series. Have no idea what's going to happen. Hopefully they take 2 or 3. Hopefully they play better baseball, but yeah, Kevin Acey is going to join us tomorrow on the show. All right, Brent, let's wrap it up with this. The Spider-Man suit from Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
It's widely regarded as one of the better superhero movies of all time.
Yes, I agree.
I think until either Infinity War or Avengers 1 or Endgame, people were like, yeah, Spider-Man 2, that's probably the best superhero movie ever.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
The suit that was worn by Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2 is going to be auctioned off on September 4th. The actual suit. Now, he was in the new movie, spoiler alert, Spider-Man No Way Home. That's a different suit, but it was the same style of suit. But this actual suit that he wore back in the early 2000s is going to go on auction. The suit is estimated to sell for $100,000 to $200,000. Now, I'm looking at the suit right now. It's in pretty damn good condition. The webbing, the lining,
the raised webbing is why it's so expensive, I bet.
It's kind of, it looks like it's decaying, or it just looks old. But the overall suit looks in really good condition. And this thing, I mean, this is one of the most iconic superhero suits ever. And people say that this is the best Spider-Man suit of all time.
Yeah.
Which one's your favorite?
I don't know. I like the Tom Holland one, the Homecoming suit, the original Stark suit that he gets.
Okay, I like that one. I think the new Tom Holland suit for this new movie, what's it called? Spider-Man, not Born Again, but it's like Brand New Day. That's what it's called.
Yeah, Brand New Day.
Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think that suit, because it's a combination of the Tobey suit and the Garfield suit.
Yeah.
I think that suit might be contender for the best Spider-Man suit of all time. But anyway, if you got $100,000 laying around, buy the Spider-Man 2 suit. It'll be on auction on September 4th. We are 9 minutes away from the premiere of season 2 of Peacemaker. I don't know about you, Brent. I don't know if you've seen the first season, but for me, I watched the first season. I had no clue what to expect. It was phenomenal. It was, I thought, one of the best superhero TV shows like ever. I did not expect that from John Cena being Peacemaker, but it was fantastic. And season 2 premieres tonight at 6 p.m., which is in now 8 minutes on HBO. Did you finish watching first season or no?
No, I started it, and after like the 3rd episode, I just didn't go back for some reason. There was nothing wrong with it. It was just one of those where I think I just got busy, and then next thing I knew was like a month. It's like, oh yeah, I should go back and watch Peacemaker. Oh well, I'll just play Madden instead.
You have got to watch the first season.
Well, see, James Gunn has forced my hand because since, this was his show, he kept this as canon. So now I have to watch this so I can watch season 2, because season 2 is supposed to kind of lead us in the direction of where they're not calling it a phase 1, but where the DC's universe is going to go with the movies and everything.
He said that, you're right about that. And I'm interested to see how they retcon some things from the first season. But I'm excited. I think that, looking at this right now, it's gotten 100% on Rotten Tomato, by the way.
The trailer looked good.
Got 100% on Rotten Tomato.
So, Tim Meadows is in it this season. That's good.
And it happens right after the events of Superman. So that's why they released it on digital.
Yeah, because they moved that up like a week.
Yeah. So we are 7 minutes away from the premiere of season 2 of Peacemaker. And finally, Burger King is bringing back Cine Minis, which is basically like the Cinnabon, but they're like mini cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon roll bites, yeah.
They're returning because they're a fan favorite, and they have been off the menu, and they're bringing them back this year. They were discontinued, and now they're making their return on August 26th. I love me some cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls are like low key one of my favorite. Like, are they a dessert item?
Oh yeah,
because I feel like you have a cinnamon roll.
It has frosting on it. Anything with frosting on it is like a dessert item. Granted, you eat it for breakfast and stuff.
I feel like it's a dessert item.
It's
a breakfast pastry, right?
Yeah.
I could eat a cinnamon roll any time of the day. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. I used to love like when I'd have doctor's appointments and stuff. I'd always talk my mom into like taking me to the mall, so I wouldn't have to go back to school. And we'd always go to the food court and eat. But on the way out, we'd always have to go to Cinnabon and get like a big thing of cinnamon rolls to take home with like the extra cups of frosting and everything. Oh god, it was so awesome.
One of my only regrets from our Hawaii trip a couple months ago was on our like list of things that we wanted to do. There was a cinnamon bun shop. I wanted to say Cinnabon, but a cinnamon bun shop that was widely regarded as like some of the best cinnamon buns, like not only in Hawaii, but like in the country. Like it was, I looked it up. The reviews were insane. And that's a place that I really wanted to go to. Unfortunately though, they were closed and I couldn't go. And I was so bummed out because cinnamon buns, like, dude, I love me some cinnamon buns. So
you went to the Spam Factory instead?
Actually, yes, we got Masubi's. We got Masubi's instead, which, by the way, slap hard. Masubi's are awesome.
I like Spam.
All right. Tomorrow, it starts 3-game series, Padres, Dodgers. We'll have Kevin AC on the show. John will return tomorrow as well. Until then, have a great rest of your night, everybody.